Hours to the rescue. Ha! No way! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! You... What did I do? It's an accident. Freaking Vito. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Danielle, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished.
Oh, time to beat 23 hours, 28 minutes.
Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
What the fuck up? Holy shit!
Wait, it went through? I gave him $50. Yo, oh my god.
Hello there.
Oh my god, I'm without my makeup. I'm back, guys. What's up? What's up, Reset? Yeah, we're gonna play Mario a bit later. First, we gotta watch videos that y'all sent me. What's up, Ping Pong? Played soccer. Damn, you're a sports person. I can't say that I am. How you doing, doctor? Doctor! I got annoying news. Lost 7-1. Oh. Excuse me. That sucks. I got a bit of an annoying news thingy. I got an anime editor, but then he couldn't edit for whatever reason, like for the anime reactions channel, so I'm gonna have to edit those videos myself, which is fine, but time consuming. And yeah. Probably, bro, I'll do it joking. I'll probably, I'm looking here now. Maybe I should do that. I'll probably end up streaming less often next month. Maybe like 2 hours a day. But I do like doing the daily streaming. I really like that. So I think I might keep daily streaming, but I'll limit it to like 2 hours or something. I hacked Russia and sent their missiles to Hitler's grave. Shit! Wow. Very wowy. Wow. That's some amazing stuff. I can't say that I've done the same thing. I found the song on Spotify the other day and I really like it. But that was a bit of an annoying news thing. The cool thing is next month I hope we get some cool videos in. Like a lot of cool YouTube videos, a lot of cool streams. I want it to be so that like at least like 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, or like 3 times a week, there's this feeling of like I don't know, like cool hype for something, you know? So like I eat the spiciest ramen in the world. Like that could be a cool video. Or I eat snacks that you guys recommend to me on stream and I rate them or whatever. You know? So you laugh, you lose, and if I laugh, I eat hot sauce. Or I spin a wheel. Like I want to do more stuff like that. So I'm going to be like thinking up ideas. So that would be cool. What are we gonna do right now? Yes, try not to laugh. Yes. So if you want to do that, just join the Discord because I'm gonna make announcements for the Discord. I know you've already joined. I'm pretty sure, right? But just in case anyone would want to join, because I know we have thousands of viewers here right now. You know, to send videos for then. We might end up doing that next week. Of course, also I would love to beat Super Mario in less than 20 minutes. And I have today, tomorrow, and Monday to do that. So today we're probably not gonna play much. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not gonna play much today, most likely, because I mean we streamed for a couple hours earlier today, and we're gonna watch vids. So I don't know if I'll have the energy to. I mean, we'll play a little bit. So tomorrow, we might end up doing a very long stream. So we'll see how that goes. I tried Discord, but I couldn't something with verify account. Yeah, I saw that you jumped. You joined the Discord, but you didn't read the intro. No one reads the welcome. Hell yeah, the song. Yeah, hell yeah. The whole camera shake shack. Wow. But yeah, how you doing, Chris? How is the school going?
Hello there.
Hey, what's up, Nathan? Came in right in time to see all your vids. Omoideo. It took me to install. You have to install the Discord, I guess, and I couldn't get back. Oh. I don't know. This is how it should look. Usually when you try to join the Discord, this is what it looks like. So when you click on the link, this will happen, and you press continue to Discord. And if you have the app on desktop or mobile, then you'll have then you just read the like what's there, and it should be good. It's getting intense. Sheesh. Yes, how have you been? I've been good. Well, I could be better, but I'm okay. I couldn't get back. Pause past that. I'll keep trying to see if I can. Okay. Well, you were inside of the Discord. You just didn't read the instruction. You have to read the instructions in the Discord and then like click certain buttons. Nice. Nice that I haven't been that good. Wow, Nathan. Yeah, I mean, basically, I thought I had an editor for anime reactions videos, but I don't. So that's a bit annoying. I'm gonna have to edit all the vids. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's been annoying. But and then also we were gonna play Uno with other streamers earlier, but Uno wasn't working for me and one of the other streamers, so we ended up playing Life 2, which was fine, but that was a bit annoying. And yeah, I don't know. Other than that, though, it's been okay, I guess. I have plans for, like what I said before, different types of content for stream. I'm probably gonna stream less next month to test out how it goes and to like spend more time on editing and other stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Reacts to badass anime moments. But then that's spoilers for a lot of it. Nice cock. Thank you. I try. Okay, let's get started. Most of it, we didn't get much this week, so it's probably not going to take too long. Which means you guys will have time to send more stuff you want me to react to. And then we could go to Mario, so it should be cool. Memes? Memes or moments?
It is good day to be not dead.
I feel like you've sent one of these before a while ago.
You are dead.
I'm dead.
The heavy is dead.
Yes, I am dead.
Why is the heavy dead?
I don't know.
I think it was.
You are dead.
Okay.
What's up, you wankers? Who's up for it? Ah,
I don't know. It's not funny.
what the hell just happened?
Yeah, you sent something like that
The heavy
before.
is dead. Correct.
This is
Did
stupid.
you see the murderer?
No, sorry, mate.
I will find him. I will capture him. And no one will ever die again. Ah, now that's nice. Proud of you. Attention!
I'm sorry. I don't like it. Nice cock on my face? That doesn't make sense. I think we should change the camera here, though. You guys need to try harder to send good stuff. Jesus. Sorry. I don't know why I sent this. I don't know why you sent it either. You sent it once a long time ago also. Or something very similar to it. This one doesn't even work. Okay. Refresh. My internet is dead.
This is what the color
know.
t-shirt you're wearing right now says about you. If your t-shirt is the color blue, you like gigantic men spreading peanut butter all on your body. This is what the color t-shirt you're wearing
Wow.
right now.
Funny. I thought he was gonna put peanut butter on himself. That's catchy. That's catchy. That's catchy. You have blue on? I'm the main one that is sending stuff. True. It just curses in Russian.
You might have seen this from the previous videos.
Previous
But we're gonna remind
videos.
you anyways. We call
Baba
this
Yaga.
the Baba Yaga.
What the hell?
It's powered by just 2 miniature vodka bottles, but the gun itself is super powerful and very interesting as well.
What game is this?
Is M4A1
CSGO? Do they have games like that?
Joey's the one with gout. We tease him all the time. You gout having bitch. We just tease him. He was getting mad in the chat. Fuck y'all. Tired of y'all teasing me all the time. Y'all just mad because I'm doing the right thing with my life. I'm getting
Hey, this better not have spoilers.
healthy. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go get me a bunch of these right now. He put 5 eggplants back to back.
Sheesh.
Then he put the
Is that
tongue
Kevin Hart?
emoji with the splash. I said, what the
It doesn't? Okay. What's up, Mac? How you doing?
What are you talking about right now?
Is
You
it,
just said
this,
you're about to go take 5 dicks to the face.
is it?
Are you talking about, Joey? What are you
Oh,
talking
Joey.
about?
That's
That's what you just said.
Bro, I find stand-up comedy
Yes, you
not
did.
funny at all.
Joey's the older one. Joey's the one with gout.
But that's just me. So stupid, bro. Sit down comedy's better. You shifted to One Piece? How do you like it?
Like you, but I do. I love cock.
That's so
You're safe now,
stupid.
chicken. People don't like you, but I do. I love cock.
Her face made her good. I don't get it. I don't get it. It was fun. One Piece is okay, in my opinion. What are you up to in it? Okay.
So I think this could.
This is where I failed my driving test for parking too close to the wall.
Wait, really? Well, hopefully you pass next time. And I'm sure you didn't even park close to the wall. Sometimes those instructors really like to over-exaggerate.
Lol.
Strong as your handbrake. Okay, so I think this could.
That's funny,
This
actually.
is where I
That's funny. What the hell?
Now we all know that one person that's just gonna look at it and go.
Okay. These are not funny, bro. These are bad TikToks, bro. But good try. I had 2 devil fruits. Shifting means taking your subconscious to another universe. Okay. 1800. I've seen One Piece on and off, and what the hell is it? A kid becoming the king of pirates? Yes, trying to.
Boys and Lilo and Stitch? How are we gonna do that? Hawaii's great. Who would have thought we'd been interning at Hawaii? It makes no sense. I know. Hey guys, look what I found! Turn it lava! No, what the hell? Kill it with fire. No guys, chill, he's friendly!
This is good.
Why does it look like that? You look like a chihuahua! What the? Roasted. He's kinda cute. I wanna touch it. I'ma kill it.
That's what she said.
Dangerous. I am not dangerous. How do we know that? Because Ohana
Means family.
I like him. The boys in Lilo?
Okay. It's a little cringe, but kind of funny also. Oh, bruh! Oh, I thought he was gonna hit his phone. Oh, he did hit his phone. The last one was funny. I've seen it's because I'm being censored. Oh. I might shift somewhere else tonight, like Maha or Suck. I need to write a script if I do. That sounds pretty cool.
Wow,
Kind
you
of.
see, this is a very powerful drawing. As people are out there, they are always smoking 24.
So dumb. Bubbles is a person. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. It's so funny.
But that's because God put the extra 12 inches somewhere else. Why are my nipples so long? I may be
This
5
is
foot.
stupid. Oh no, the balloon. The balloon died. This guy is just screwing up in life. Oh, nah, bro. I can't tell if this is real or not. Oh, that's so sad.
Is
Alright, it's 13 minutes. We'll skip it for now.
Give me the biggest.
Did you know your pee-pee is 4 inch in your body? Of course. Mine is 6 though.
Try asking me for fart music.
Fart music.
Now playing Mr. Farts. Farting round the house. Oh hey, it's Mr. Farts in the band. It's going to get smelly.
This is stupid. My neat teacher linked their OnlyFans. What the hell? No way, bro. That's mad weird.
So I think I've officially found the nastiest car ever. Look at the
Jesus.
amount of roaches that is inside this
Ugh. That's nasty.
But it gets worse. There's a whole lizard skeleton back here.
Jesus Christ.
No way. Well, this one's gonna be fun.
Oh, he cleans cars.
So I think I've officially
It's a
found
good way to make TikToks.
God's Valentine to you?
What?
My dad died a couple days ago. I was wondering if somebody could like Photoshop wings on. What the hell?
Dude, this
Bro, that's sussy baka, bro. What is that? That is sus.
When the client asks, what's your biggest guard?
Sunakat.
I got you, bro.
Hello. Did you change your name? How to stop turbulences? That's not even how you spell it, is it?
Some of you still don't believe we're living in a simulation.
Oh, okay.
Let me blow your minds real quick. Canada?
Your name looks kind of familiar. What was the original name you had? You did something with Pokemon. You were playing a Nuzlocke as well, right?
United States, Mexico.
Sorry for forgetting a little.
C-U-M. Come. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Ugh. That's not milk.
Un ranchero.
What the hell am I watching? What is that?
Dude,
It's beautiful.
what the heck? It's my mom's car. Yeah, it's his mom's car.
The hell?
I gotta put some dirt in your eye. Hey, yo, Chuck, give me the mic, man. Hey, yo. Give me the mic, yo. I know you hear me.
Okay.
You cannot
I thought it would
tell
do
me
something.
what to do anymore. Yeah. Can't tell me.
Zygot, then Sunelise. Ah, Sunelise. Yes. I remember.
You're
I remember
Venom? Who's
Sunelise, I
Venom?
think. What's up?
Oh yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Fucking haters.
Okay. My Little Pony, don't you know your anime? I don't. I don't know my anime. What? What the hell?
You just want me to give you the money,
This is
bro.
stupid.
How much is the food, bro?
Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hold up, man.
It's $38.
Bro, hold on. You got me a hot dog here, fries. Okay, what's this? My Coke?
Why the emoji?
Bro, I didn't ask for no shake, but you asked for stuff. And I got my burger. And you get my burger?
Yeah.
Come on, Cash. You killing me, bro. Damn, you trying to get paid, man. This guy here, bro.
Damn, he cursing.
Is this really how you think of me, though? Like,
Jesus.
This is what you think of me.
Sheesh. Man going places. I'm script. Don't
Like,
you mean
dead
cartoon?
ass?
No, anime. Yo, help me. Come up with a plot for my first day and my hero. I don't know.
Hey, nah, I gotta say something. Hey, I don't know whose kid this is over here in the produce section, but he's breaking up all the eggs, and I gotta clean this shit up.
This dude really thought I was a taxi driver.
Fuck. What you talking about? I think a yellow cab trying to pick me up. Yo, open the door. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You ain't about to drive over me, right? Yo, don't do that, yo!
That looks so fake. Why would you be recording in the car? There's no way that's real, right? My Hero Academy beat Deku.
Waffle taco. The next generation of breakfast is here. Introducing the waffle taco. Damn, that's one nasty motherfucker. Eggs and sausage.
Look who I ran into at Chuck E. Cheese. You're never gonna believe this.
I love Chuck E. Cheese with a passion. I'm here every day.
Ugh, bro, that's nasty. Ugh.
Mason, we never do anything interesting at your parties.
Tenchi, hit the lights.
It is they recorded for
Alexa,
safety.
Blackboard on.
Low.
You see, Catherine, it
How do
all
you know
started in the
it is?
1980s when William Afton
Man going
developed
places. What the hell?
Fuck this job, bitch, I quit. Fuck this job. 'Cause I don't
Ah ha ha ha.
I
So
caught
funny.
your bitch ass now. You gonna tell me how to save 15% or what, huh?
Ah, nah, don't do
You gonna
that.
tell me how to save
Bruh, chill. Nah, they don't
15%
kill
or
it,
you gonna be
right?
Quiet, huh? Huh?
Don't do that. That's messed up.
Nadie. Who's your uncle, G?
Mira, mi tío aquí.
My uncle is here.
Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door.
Hey, cuz.
So stupid.
What, are you...
What the hell?
What's
Is
up?
that a
What's
seal?
up here, bro? What you doing? You chilling?
Fuck, my feet hurt. Hey, Waylon, can you rub my feet?
Fuck no, dude. Rub them your fucking self.
Oh, okay. Oh, rub your feet.
I've seen that
I'll
one
never let
before.
go. I'm pregnant.
You better get your ass.
These memes suck. You know what meme was good? The other week, someone actually sent. I think it was Nathan. I could be wrong. You know who sent a good meme? You know what it was? What was it? It was. What was it? What was the meme? Oh yeah, my dad. My dad is dead meme. I don't know if that was sort of. Ah, damn it! What was it? It was so good. You guys need to send memes like that where it's unexpected but good. Horse kicks tree. I thought of plot for the first day. Ooh, cool. What is the plot? Horse kicks tree, farts on dogs, then runs away. No, that's an amazing video, but no, not that one. That one's overplayed. It's damn it, what is it? If you guys remember from last week, we saw a meme where some girl was like, "Oh, my father passed away. Can you pretend to be him?" Do you know? I think it was my father. Kermit on the dark side? No, my father passed away. Can you pretend to be him? Meme. That sounds so dumb to look up. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is, bro. Damn it. Did I X the? I X'd the. Oopsies! I X'd it by accident. We're around the 5 minute. We're on here, but where? Oh, okay. Kermit on the dark side. No. Whatever. I don't remember.
Hey, cuz.
I'll never let. I don't have. You better get your.
My son, you are the ammo.
You're right, God.
I froze.
Kind of funny. Totally didn't make myself OP. I encounter Bakugo and Deku having one of their encounters, so I stand up to Bakugo using my quirks, explosion and fire. Then I dog on Bakugo, then we have the test, have lunch, standard lessons, and go home. Cool. KK.
My pants last night.
Hate the ones that have... Oh.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes, like, at nights, I just cry.
What a good use of a green screen. What a great use of a green... That's actually so good.
I've got a game for you. You can guess how many words are in the English language. I'll let you take a hit of my vape. But if you get it wrong, we both have to leave the store.
No, thank you.
Not much of a gamer, are you?
Nah, not really. Have a good one.
Right.
Ferro soviético.
What?
Este ferro com chazumari que...
What did we just watch? Bro, we don't need a day in the life of you? No, Mac is making a script. Why are you being so mean, Ping Pong?
Restabelecer a União Soviética e para ele calcular
Dog, Soviet dog.
para recrutar a mais pessoas com seus mesmos ideais.
That was kind of funny. Hey, Mario meme!
Congratulations, you passed the neighborhood safety test. Your door is locked.
Water. Oh, fuck, it doesn't work, bro? Are you kidding me?
Jeez. Cats are scary. Ahaha, loud noise equals funny.
Y'all be safe. You know 12 out here. You know 12 out here.
Caught him brushing his teeth. What?
Number
What the hell?
15, the Glizzy Clobbler.
Yeah, I played GTA.
Did you play GTA?
I played GTA.
Did you go into the strip club?
No, yeah, for a mission.
And what did you see over there?
I had to collect the product.
What did you see over there?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Nothing.
Did you see any tits?
No.
Bullshit. Did you see tits?
No.
Did you like the tits?
That's
Blind Child area.
Yo, where? Try that meme. It was like, David, is that you? Type that. No. You guys send me memes and stuff, whatever you want to send me, after I finish the video, not before. Oh, is that the one that I thought was really funny? It's blank. Yeah, this one.
Big news today.
This
that my
is
mom
so
dead,
good.
So can you guys just pretend to be my mom for a minute? Okay, so guess what? I officially got hired in the ER. Mid-shift LPN. It's the job I wanted for a long time, and I'm super excited.
This video is so good, man. This video is so
so can you guys just
good.
pretend to be my mom for a minute?
Oh,
Okay, so guess what?
You see, it's like subtle stuff that's unexpected. That's the best. That's the funniest stuff. That is the one I was looking for. Thank you, Nathan.
Where are they? Oh, hey, but oh.
There's one.
Oh. Hello.
I always thought of this too, actually. Blind child area. I always thought like there's such weirdly phrased signs.
Blind Child area.
Yo, where are they? Oh, hey, but oh.
There's one.
Oh.
Hello there, neighbor.
That was funny.
Ready to kill them lovers?
Do my ears deceive me?
Oh, sorry.
We don't fucking talk like that, brother. You want to say that one more time for me?
I offer
Okay.
fast food delivery service to the chickens.
Oh.
Ready to go.
You're so quick. What's up, Timmy? How you doing?
You loser.
Did you just use his attitude?
Hold on. untrained meteorologist reporting on the snow. I mean,
RuneScape.
the streets.
Where's Cortez? GTA. And here's Timmy. Is this GTA? Or is this GTA 1? It looks so bad. Wait, I'm not clicking on links just yet.
You prefer breast or thigh?
This is so stupid.
It's good, ain't it?
This is beating a horse. Yo, that's mad good.
This hot ass car for 35 motherfucking minutes. Give me
Ah ha ha ha.
Oh, okay. Let go. Let go. I got.
It's not even voice acting well.
Stop. Go to the language
No,
lab right
I'm
now.
checking my grade.
Get out of here.
No, I'm not.
Get out.
I'm not leaving.
That was so random.
New abilities for
Moo.
Mad Maggie.
I can explain.
One of my friends was like touching another legs as a meme and was then like, "Where's my thigh?" And that guy literally touches the leg. Wow.
You like this song? Alright, look. There's nothing wrong with it, but
Anything I place inside will instantly grow bigger, and it will permanently.
I'm not even worried about the Satan spawn that you have behind you. You said anything you put inside of it grows
Ha
bigger?
ha
How much did you pay for that?
so funny.
Watch out, I got it. No, it's okay, I'll get it. No, wait. We'll use the power of friendship. Oh, shit, yo. That is crazy. This is why I love y'all.
I mean, I've got the muscles.
That was good.
Ladies love me. I've got a big willy. What more could they want? And I've got guns. That's why I'm gangster. Yo, swag.
Bitch, better watch my shoes. What the what? Fucking following me, bitch. Oh God. Put diamonds on the hoe's toenails.
That's not me, Nathan. That's not me. I wouldn't be like, "Hey guys, I got a gun. Look at the guns. My pee big." I don't do that. Jesus.
Kitty cat, where are you?
Every second you're not running, I'm only getting closer.
That was
He
cute.
was running from a cop car. Jumping over that gate, gonna leave a big scar. Feel like GTA with like 3 stars. Try to get away, but he ain't get far. Woo, woo, woo,
Good
woo.
singing, bro.
Yo, who put this airheads, Eddie, Ed, and Fred, since Zeppelin just led the second Red Dead, LeBron's head, banana bread underneath my bedspread?
Yo. That was cool. Yeah, that cat was scary, bro. That was shit.
Hit a trick. Hey.
Oh,
Shut the fuck up, you nasty bitch. I don't know how to fuck you jumping my son, you little nasty ass nigga. Shut your little bitch ass up, you dirty bitch.
I
bet they won't have
Kinda funny.
Wow, they have it. Blizzy.
Hey, Vink.
Lizzie.
Look what I got at Home Depot, bro.
Bro. He deserved that.
Let me in, please.
What was... Oh, shit.
Guys, look. I made a Nintendo Switchblade.
Zachariah, your father and I are getting a divorce.
What the f?
What are you doing? You making a TikTok? Oh, yeah. Look at him.
I'm Robert Sims. Welcome to Jackass.
Eat turkey bacon by choice. Eat turkey bacon out your ass.
I remember this. This is so stupid.
Got your hat.
Give me a slushie. We're gonna be on for you today? And can I also have a small blue raspberry slushie?
That was terrible, bro. Oh, what is this picture? Jesus.
The sausage McMuffin?
There were like 2 good memes there. Like 2. Alright, let's see what Timmy sent. Now you guys could send in chat. Yeah, that was interesting. Keep watching.
What the fuck? Come on.
That was worse. Much worse. Anyway, anyone have any more stuff? Or we're going straight to Super Mario? Or do you guys have any more, stuff you want me to watch?
That was nasty, bro. I don't know how you like that. That's weird.
I mean, the thing is, send me links. I don't want to type things. Just send me links. Send me something that's like 10,000. How loud is this shit? Kind of funny. Kind of funny.
Oh my God, thank God.
I do, but it's not gross. Oh. These are so funny. Yeah.
That's disgusting, dude.
Those were so funny. Sorry. It was so funny. That was actually kind of funny. I never watched this movie. So many memes came from this.
I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Too much raining. Ooh. I don't know why that was funny.
Is not some fun boxing match, okay? This is about escaping with your life. So, strike, scream, and run. Alright, let's try it. It may have been my fault. What the hell? Is not
Kind of funny. The Office. So funny. Did I miss one? Ukraine be like. Sheesh. This is copyrighted music, so I'm just gonna mute that for a second. And yeah. Good meme. 10 out of 10 quality.
See him. Excuse me? Let me see the condom you plan on putting on my quarterback's weenie.
What? What am I watching? Oh
my God. Yes.
Holy shit! Just put a baby in me, please.
Oh, I don't know
I'm in
about
love with you.
Oh, good.
We can have a really great life together.
Zip it, psycho! Find another famous person's life to ruin. Get out!
What the?
Get out of my house! Condoms. Let's.
What do you guys watch? That was weird, but beautiful at the same time.
Go? Well, you know it's tradition to always throw back like the first catch, so I'm just gonna let him go home with his family. Be free! Go? Well, you know it's tradition to
That's such like an old one. They do that so much. I can't tell which meme I clicked on. You're disconnected.
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, what is that?
This is stupid. Why is that funny?
Oh my god, what is that?
It's all the subtle things, bro. The way he's just like, ah, la, la, la. And the music is so intense, but it's subtle. That was good. That was actually good. God damn.
What the hell is going on here? Your mom just got served. Served? I haven't even ordered yet. Order! Cheeseburger, please. What the hell is going on
This is
here?
so stupid. A cheeseburger, please! By the way, guys, stop sending links. I'm gonna do it so that you guys could request it, so I don't need to click on it. Duh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that song sounded so good. I'll just watch these last few and then I'll put a thing so you guys could just send it.
Green. Roses are red. Your ass really stinks when you fart in a bed,
True.
but I still love you. Roses are red. I hope you feel lucky, because holy shit, your ex is pretty ugly.
Ha 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 ha
He's
ha.
not even a warrior. The only place he hunts is Walmart.
Is this guy
Babe,
doing an accent?
You know how I knew you were mine? When we went to bingo and the color called 069.
Ha ha ha.
Yes. Babe, thank you for waiting for
Native
me.
what?
I'm not sleeping with my uncle.
Native
when I was in
American?
jail. I know this doesn't rhyme, but I'm just being real.
He
Hashtag
sounds
bless.
Scottish or Irish or something.
You're the champ in my heart because of the love that I felt. Now
Native
here,
American?
This is your heavyweight belt.
Ha 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 ha.
Now, babe, I'm not calling you a heavyweight. You're not fat, okay? You're tiny. You're skinny, okay?
I'm sorry, it's not funny to me.
Boom, 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 boom. What the fuck?
Ha ha. That was almost funny. Just wait. Oh. I can't tell. You guys sent so many links. I don't know what's going on. That's how Canadian natives say. That's funny. That's actually funny. I don't know which ones I've clicked on. There's two more, right? Why is the meme this person looking at the meme? And you can't even hear her. What's her reaction? Oh, that's her. Oh, it's the same person. I get it now. Never mind. I'm not mad anymore. I'll have to save that for later. That was cool.
Yeah, fuck, man. What, bitch? Huh? What? I'm kind of drunk. Oh, shit. Shut up. Huh? You wanna go, bitch? What's that, bitch?
Damn, he does look good. Try not to laugh. I don't laugh. Too easy. But all it is that you, Michael? The chair flip? Is that you, Michael? Meme. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to look at. Is
Hey,
it
Michael,
this?
Is that you? It's not Michael. Hey, Michael, is that
This
you?
is dumb. This is dumb.
It's not Michael.
It's not Michael though. Oh. I did not mean to do that. Why am I afraid of my mom? My penis size. Bugs. Cockroaches. Nice. Sex. Nice. People are afraid of sex. You learned it here first, folks. God damn, bro. Dick was not an answer. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it so you guys could request it. So I don't need to keep clicking the links. I don't know why I don't do this other times. So yeah, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do, see? You go here, go to settings. Alright, autoplay media. Yeah. Just song requests. No, but then I need the show on stream. Make sure you have the media share widget on your overlay. One moment, please. I need it on my overlay. My overlays, baby. I'll just put you guys there. Lucky I'm not part of it. Part of what? I'm already setting TikToks for next week. Of course you are. They better be good, bro. TikToks this week sucked. Media request. Da-na-na. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Media request. Okay. You guys could send links now by doing like song request. And hopefully it'll work. Let's see. Yeah, it should work now. Oh, cause the song's too long. Oh, wait. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 moment, please. I gotta go into settings here. Max free request. Let's make it 90. I don't want it to be too long. No, 9 minutes is fine. What are you sending that's more than 9 minutes? No, 9 minutes is fine. What am I saying? Make it 12? Nah, 9 minutes is fine. What? You send me someone's...
Goodness.
Wait. Yeah, that should work. It's 8 minutes. Huh. Yeah. Wait. I'll fix it. How do I make this bigger? Can you guys even hear it? Can you guys hear it? I haven't done this in mad long. No. Nope. I did nothing. Yeah. Huh. Why could I hear it? Where is it playing through? It's kind of funny. Wait. Let me fix it. Audio time. Media request. Audio. Oh, that actually worked. What the hell are we watching? Wait, you guys will see it in a second. It's so dumb. I can't make it bigger either. That's what she said. 800, 600. Well, I could make it bigger probably. Sorry, this is my first time doing this, guys. I'll fix that. I'll fix it right now. Media request. Nope, nope, nope. How you doing, Dino? So my overlays. I'm gonna put that here. Media request. I'll make it bigger. That's what she said, okay? Click on it. Position size. 900 by what? 600? I don't know.
Is Kermit the Frog wanking?
Oh, that works.
Maybe. Hi, Kermit.
How you doing?
Better now see you.
Oh, damn. What you doing on Omegle?
We're really bored.
Oh, nice.
Why can't you guys hear it?
How's Miss Piggy?
Pretty good.
Miss Piggy, Miss Piggy. One moment, please.
She's out of town, so I'm on here.
Oh, you guys could hear it. You guys could hear it.
Wanking. You found the
Maybe.
right one.
Right? Oh, damn. Mind if I finish, or...
Hmm?
Can I finish?
Yeah.
All right.
What? Oh, I thought you meant his sentence.
What the hell? Is what I said before. Because I saw that. Can I have my points back? Ping didn't win. Doctor never and oh yeah, I forgot.
Here. That
You
was
didn't
awesome.
play Uno though.
Good job.
Yeah, I'll give back points. I forgot, thank you.
I want to fuck you, Kermit.
All right.
I want to fuck your little puppet hole.
All right. And then I'm going to get you back.
I'm a top.
Huh.
I would definitely fuck you, Kermit. I would
Alright.
come all over your. I would come all over your. And I'd rip your eyes off
I don't get
side
this.
of you, and then I would have prostate orgasm because I'd let you put that whole entire zucchini in me.
Oh, damn. All right, well, let's do it. Oh, hey there. Yes,
Hey.
Ram Ranch. 18 naked cowboys in the shower.
That's from anime.
Oh, damn. How you doing?
What is this?
Oh.
I don't honestly care about the
So we're
points,
doing
I
this
guess
thing,
we're
aren't
gonna
we?
run, but the code that we're using
Alright.
Twitch for life. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we're doing
I
this
should've-
right now.
Sorry.
Hey there.
Guys, I considered doing Omegle, but the reason why I didn't is because a lot of people jerk off on it. I wanted to do it live, but not jerk off, but didn't know it was for life. Apologies. My apologies too. I return
Sure.
the points.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side?
Wait, what was that?
There's a dick.
Whoa, that's huge. Jeez.
There's a dick on the other side.
I'm a Kermit.
Either.
Oh, so dumb.
What
Don't
are you
ever
doing?
do that.
I won't do it because of Death Note people.
Don't ever do
Good.
that again.
Do what?
You have just ruined my whole childhood.
Oh.
Why are you wearing
Well,
masks?
wait till you see this.
On the computer!
Kermit, bro, how was your mental state, bro?
Eh, could be better.
Could be better. Why? What's wrong? What, bro? What's wrong?
I don't know. A lot of drugs and alcohol.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
Masturbation.
You keeping this pig-
Masturbation. Life is your creation, baby. If anyone wants to send more videos, feel free to. You could song request as if it were music, and it should go through. So yeah, do that.
in check?
Yeah, bro.
Unless you don't want
Shit,
anymore.
keep me in check, though. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, ooh. Damn, bro, you packing?
Yeah, on here looking for baddies.
List is always small
Baddies,
for
yeah.
relatable things.
Swear to God, I feel the vibes. I feel the vibes.
Right?
I know
What do you
Miss
mean?
Piggy not holding it down, so who are you pigging, bro?
Yeah. Whoever will let me at this point, you know what I'm saying?
For real, for real. All right, Kermit.
All right, bro.
Oh, for real. This was boring. After the first like minute was okay. Okay.
Keep your stick on the ice, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Right.
sir.
Keep your stick. Keep your stick on the ice. Okay. That was interesting. Oh, the list is always small for relatable things in Omegle. Lol. Let's do Mario. Let's do Mario, yeah? You guys need to send better stuff. All right? Unless you enjoyed it, then it's okay. Whoa, Mario? Hell yeah. Mario. Wish is my command. Wait, we're gonna do Mario, bro. We're doing Mario. Aren't even more than 5 minutes. I don't know, bro. Here, if I look at the settings. Oh, I changed it to 2 minutes by accident. Ooh, that explains things. We're not doing them anymore, though. We're going to play some Mario. I apologize, Dinal. I apologize. Watching videos, you... All right. Mario Kart? Ha, close. Super Mario. I gotta get the sub 20, you know? I gotta get it already. Gotta get it. Super Mario Kart. That's right, baby. We're playing some Super Mario Kart. Is that even a thing? You maybe understand. Your wish is my command. It's gonna be very loud. Brace your ears. It's a me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
He's always so goddamn loud. There we go. Yo, yo, yo. Mario Kart. I thought we was gonna play. Why would we play Mario Kart? Wonder if I should go for a VIP redeem. I don't know, bro. It takes quite a while to get that many points. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do 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 do. You might be seeing a black screen, but wait. There's more. You know why? Because I pressed the studio button, and then I pressed this button, and then I pressed this button, and I pressed this button, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom! There we go. It was a bit off with the countdown, but it worked. It worked. Wait, we're playing Mario Kart? We're not playing Mario Kart, guys. We're not playing Mario Kart. I do the math for 1K and multiply that by 100. A lot of math. Y'all want to play Mario Kart instead of watching the... you could do both. That's what I would do. You don't want to see a pro gamer? Bro, if I get a PB right now, I'll give you $1. I am tired, yeah. I'm tired of you guys being so mean to me. Nah, to be honest. I'm tired of I don't know. No, I'm doing pretty good. Sheesh. Yeah, $1 is a lot of money though, you know, so I don't know. I don't know how much money I spent today, but I know how much I made. Actually, I don't know how much I made either. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 doo, doo, doo. What type of cake? Ice cream cake. That's the great cake. Or booty cheeks. I guess that's cake, right? We're doing at least 10 runs today, okay? 10 goddamn runs. Wait, that's a lot of runs. I don't know if we're doing 10 runs, but... how did I screw that up? Oh my god! Good afternoon. The princess is having sexual relations with Bowser. I don't care, Lakitu. I don't know why I did that. How many runs do you normally do? I don't know. It just depends. When I start getting triggered, I stop playing pretty much. Or I'll like practice, you know? I'm probably gonna check afterwards to see how many runs we've done or how many hours we've spent on the game. 3 or 4? Yeah, probably. Which isn't much if you think about it. Here we go! Tomorrow we're gonna do like 100 runs. Boop, 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 boo, doo, doo, doo. Do, 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 do. Yahoo, baby. Yahoo again, baby. Do, 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 do. Bruh. But yeah, you guys gotta find top tier like memes and send it. Like we're gonna do soon. You laugh, you lose, but I like hot sauce. You laugh, you eat hot sauce. I'll make an announcement on Discord, but it's only gonna be like 1 or 2 submissions per person. Nah, maybe like 5 submissions per person. So I hope you guys send some good ass funny stuff. You went from 1 3-hour run to 4 25-minute runs. I guess so. 4 ads. Oh, you're not subscribed anymore. Oh. That's an awe. Can we get some Sages in chat? By the way, Dinel, you're crazy. You always add to the hype when you know, when we give to other streamers. It's very nice of you. Here we go. And I do appreciate it, to be honest. 100 times 20 is 200 plus 0. 2,000 divided by 60. Me thinks not. Huh? Bro. Nice. Bro! Why am I doing that so much lately? Calm down, Peng. Don't get mad, it's just a game. Okay. Welcome back, Nathan. Here we go. Penis is the proper scientific term. There we go. That's the type of long jumps I want. Okay, that's a little better. A bad jump. Let's go. Oh, it's God. Welcome, God. I tried understanding math. I yet to get it. Same. 2,000 divided by... Isn't that 200 divided by 6? Which is 33. But why less than 24? Oh. I can't do 100 runs in 24 hours. I gotcha. All right, we'll go for 50 runs. I don't... It can't stay for long? Okay. Bring brick thing bias massive pillar hola. What? I'm taking the risk. Worth the risk. Did he do it? Yeah, I gotcha. Y'all want to hear my math homework? Not really, but you could talk about it if you want. Adding it. No, it's probably adding and subtraction. Just kidding. Just kid. You don't know? Oh. It's not a good thing if you don't know your homework, but you know. We're getting 36 hours stream. I don't know about 36 hour, but maybe 24 hours stream. Good job, Mr. Ping Pong. Let's go. I almost doxed my last name. I'm too dumb to learn. Well, you're too dumb to spell too, apparently. Just kidding, just kidding. I just had to say that because you spelled learn wrong. But it's okay. How you doing, God? You could actually get a shit ton of runs done in 24 hours if you really grinded. Yeah. I'm serious. If this, But I think I need to practice a lot. And I feel like practice is very boring to watch. But very necessary. As long as people are in chat... Oh, you did it on purpose? Then that was actually 10,000 IQ. Good. That was a good joke, God. Yeah, 24 hours. 3 per hour. I could get like over 60. Oh, I should go for 69 runs. That would be cool. Do multiple 12-hour streams. I mean, it's kind of too late for that already. Unless I do a 12-hour stream right now. Well, actually, I guess I could do multiple. No, you're right. Actually, I could do multiple. I got it. Let's go. Can you stop changing the camera? This game's actually super duper fun. Yes. Nice, Ping. Nice. Multiple back-to-back 12-hour streams. Nice, Ping. Nice. Where's my camera facing? There we go. Nice. Goddamn, try to long jump, bro. Stop! What is the camera doing? It's adding pounds to my weight. I don't know. I tried to long jump again. Without outsmarting the system, you did 2 12-hour streams in a row. No, that's 24 hours. This game gets me so triggered. You know what I want to add fractions successful. Damn, y'all are savage.
It's me, Mario.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked
It's 2 12-hour streams in a row.
Princess Toadstool.
Oh, bro. Why do I have to teach chat math? 12 plus 12 equals 17, so therefore it's a 24-hour stream. He uses his hands. What? Yeah. Your best run of SM64 is 69 minutes, isn't it? Pretty bad, bro. But not bad. The hours. Doctor! You never finished a run of SM64, right, Pingpong? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Yo, oh my god, my underwear is sticking to my... Don't you guys hate when that happens? Yahoo! Nice. I keep screwing it up. Wow, 0.69 milliseconds. Just like the amount of time it takes you to... Never mind, I can't say that because you're 12 years old. Okay. Bye, Nathan. It's literally everything to be embarrassed of. I want 50 trillion seconds. Bro. I don't... What's the max that you could time someone out? Or is there no max? Nice. What a terrible run. I have a friend my age which makes me know so... Huh? You don't know everything. But you are 12, so you definitely think you know everything. Why do so many kids watch me? Can anyone answer that? It's fine that you guys watch me, but sometimes a bit much. I'm just curious why. Is it because I'm such a nice person? Technically, if you want to set sub 20 before end of February, you need to start stream tomorrow at midnight. Because you look stupid. See, like, kids are so... a lot of kids are just terrible at making good jokes. It's not even a good joke. But it's okay. I got timed out for 6 months on Hassan's stream. What did you say? Did you actually? But you didn't get banned, so props to you. I don't watch Hassan. He just seems like he always screaming. I already do that. I don't need to watch someone else do that. That's not why I don't watch him. Because I don't watch Twitch. I don't got the time. Just kidding. Yes, it is. Well, that's the stupidest reason I've ever heard. Why would you watch me if I look stupid? Why? Your mom there roasted. Nice. I think it's because I'm a nice person. Because I deal with the stuff. Why don't you just fall to the star? You have to do it a certain way, or else it doesn't get the star. You have to do it at a certain angle and everything. I want to see if the word too mad times me out. Oh. Didn't he have drama with Too Mad, which is like another streamer? Bro, I don't know. Whenever I see stuff about Hassan, it seems like he's like a baby. But it's not just Hassan. And honestly, when you stream for so many hours a day, of course you're gonna have moments where you're like a baby. I have moments where I'm like a baby, and I don't even stream as much as he does, so. There is that. I miss Renee. Renee? Do you have other streamer problems? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Do I have problems with other streamers? No, not at all. Yeah, I have good relationships with a good amount of streamers, actually. We're all tiny streamers, though. Rini? Re. Why did that become a thing? I feel like the internet kills all of our brain. How? All of our brain cells. That was actually good. I almost jinxed it. Interesting fact, you can fit a raccoon in your ass. Maybe you can. I could fit more than a raccoon. I could fit my stepsister up in there. Hey, yo. What? I think that's how you spell too mad. I don't know. I'm a drama frog. Come on, bird. Stupid ass owl. I don't know how I got better at the owl. I guess it's just doing it so many times. That's what she said. Isn't it crazy that if I do good on everything else, I could literally PB 2 minutes ahead of my last PB? Jesus. Raccoons in the butt feels nice. Raccoons in the butt. I feel like you can make a song out of that. I feel like I'm tired and I'm acting really dumb more than usual. So that's cool, I guess. Nice, ping. There you go. Oh my god, wasting so much. Bro, can you just get the star? Isn't it crazy that speedrunning better makes you better? It is crazy. I didn't think it actually is a thing, but apparently if you speedrun better, you just play better. I don't know, it's crazy stuff. I need to learn the triple jump here. It would literally save me like 2 seconds. But you know what? I haven't learned it. Oh, I thought I missed. That was kind of scary. Here we go. Ba-da-da-da. 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 What a bad movement. I feel like that's my only good movement. Jumping to the 8-star door from the 7-6 from CCM. Okay. My god. Nice singing ya poppin'. I don't know how I hit that. Ah! It doesn't matter that I hit it. Air defies gravity. Huh? What does that even mean? I'm not even gonna change my camera for this. Let's go. Why does it do that? Since I leave, you die. What a loser. Well, apparently not, because you're still here. Ah, you just got owned. I am a loser, though. Oh. I got the coin, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm a loser. I didn't say you're a loser, but okay. You big poopy head. Oh, I'm not only a poopy head, I'm a terrible gamer. I keep getting the question mark though, which is nice. Nice, Bing. How did I meet you? Playing Pokemon. I don't know. You found me on Pokemon, I think. No? Yeah, you found me on Pokemon. We were playing, we're playing a Nuzlocke. I remember the area where you came into the stream. Get up! What was the area? It was, we were training for the... We were training. We were training for the last Nuzlocke, or the one before. I even remember the exact area where it was. I can't put my finger on it. That was actually good. I kind of redeemed myself in the end. Pokemon, yep. I must have been such a loser back then. I would argue you're a bigger loser now because you're still watching me. But yeah. I don't forget. I don't know. Somehow I remember. I mean, we're still small. Maybe that's why. But I remember where I see you guys first. Unless you never come back. Then I don't remember. Sometimes. Leave me. Leave. I must have been. And I know I've met Ping Pong the other day. And he searched up Ping Pong on Twitch. That wasn't that long ago. Man saying like it's been years. Alright. Why do I keep coming back? I don't know. Why do you keep coming back? Ah! Huh? What am I doing? Why did my voice crack? What am I... Bro. Back in the great Pokemon recession of 2021. Yeah, we've had a lot of arcs here. We'll see how next month's arc goes. Stupid. Maybe that's the best way to move here. I'm glad he's out of Pokemon. Alright, see you, God. Thanks for popping in. That was bad movement. Will we get the bird? It was bad movement. Oh, let's go. I liked Pokemon. It's just the last Nuzlocke was Bruh! The last Nuzlocke was utter trash. Nice. Nice, Bing. That arc when he was imitating 80s workout videos? Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Those were pretty cool. What's a Nuzlocke? A Nuzlocke is when you play a Pokemon game. Check out my YouTube video. Yo, doctor. Yo. Put the YouTube. It's my latest video. It's an hour long, though. It explains what a Nuzlocke is. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my... I don't know how the hell I recovered. I'm pressing way too many buttons. Nuzlocke is a Pokemon game that's made harder, essentially. We did 3 or 4 Nuzlocks until I said, it. Honestly, I don't know why anyone comes back here. I appreciate it, but I don't get it. I kind of redeemed myself there. Not really. Bologna! I do wonder why people come back. Sometimes. Not very often. Because I know I'm just such good content. It will be pretty awesome content next month. Assuming everything goes well. We're gonna have some like, I'm gonna try to make it interactive the way Ludwig makes it interactive. Like making you guys, you know, send me stuff, or not send me stuff, but like, well, you guys will see. I don't wanna spoil anything. Why did I long jump? That made no sense. Let's go. Here we go. Why are you saying Bologna? What's a Nuzlocke? Why saying Bologna again? Oh, baloney? That's why you come back for me? I'm not hailing anymore. I'm fighting for Bologna. Oh. Wahoo! 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 I never know how to get stars. Here we go! Bologna. I like that Bologna. I touch you in the Bologna. What? What are you saying, Ping? Go in the door. Bologna. I'm a rapper. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Give me that goddamn bunny. About to say banana, because everything is yellow. And everyone is yellow. It's the wrong song. Let's go. That definitely saved time. Let's go, Bologna. Why are you just saying Bologna? It's not pissing me off. It's just confusing me. Bologna. Bologna. I'm down, Ping. It's just bologna. But I'm getting excited. I love bologna. It tastes like French fries. Swim, 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 swim. Da-da-da-da. Da-da. Stop. Stop, stop swimming. So that was a glitch. I didn't want to show my secret, but I actually just saved 40 seconds with that glitch. You want to see another glitch? Well, too bad. I don't want to show off too many glitches. You know what glitch rhymes with? Big banana. Let's see if I get this. Okay, I got it. Actually good. Which rhymes with bitch. Bitch rhymes with ditch. Ditch rhymes with switch. Switch, if you rich, you buy a Switch and you don't look like a witch. Hitch Hawk is a movie about cock. Bars. What's up, Darkness? Twitch Prime. Do it or you're a bad fan. If you don't Twitch Prime right now, then you're dead to me. Ah, that was karma. Just kidding. You could also give me your money instead of Twitch priming. Ah! I was doing so well if I fell there. Bars. I was doing so well if I fell. I fell! Oh! Why am I so bad at video games? I'll read chat in a moment. Okay. I don't know how I missed a big message earlier on, but I'll try to read it after this. India doesn't have Twitch Prime, no money. Bro, don't lie, bro, okay? You could say no money for you. That would be more accurate, okay? I don't mind, okay? I don't mind hearing the truth. But when you say no money, I question how you're even watching me in the first place, right? If you got no money, how are you what? My Mario Kart race is cursed. First I clip through a wall, then Donkey Kong somehow drives on the other side. Then I hit Peach mid-air and fail. Aw, that sucks. Rip. Rip indeed. That could have been gold also. Here we go! I got data, no money. And how do you have data? You gotta spend money to have data. Alright? I honestly don't mind at all if people don't give me money. But when people say, I got no money, a little different. Your parents? So just borrow their credit card. I don't even have pockets to keep money in. That sounds like a you problem. No, I'm joking. I already spent all my money on the internet. I'm a freeloader. Aren't we all? Everyone's a freeloader at one point of their life. When you come out of your mom's vajayjay, you're a freeloader. Yeah, just borrow, exactly. Now, to be honest, I would rather make... I've said this before, but I'd rather make money on YouTube from you guys than on Twitch. Because Twitch requires you to actually spend your money. YouTube requires you to watch my videos. If you're already watching my streams and if you enjoy the videos, I'd rather get money from YouTube, if that makes sense. Wow. BLJ's actually good. Guys, I'm gonna PB. Not my mom's vajayjay. Yeah, your mom's vajayjay. C-section babies thrive in rent. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. You are right. Get out, you stupid mushroom. I don't do drugs. Ah! Life has an 18-year free trial if you're lucky. True. Even longer nowadays if you're American. And lucky. Not too lucky, though. That's why so many people complain in America. Because half the people complaining are sitting in their mom's basement at 24 years old trying to become the next Shroud on Mario. I don't know how I made that jump, but I'm not complaining. That was a cool jump. Okay. Waha! Let's go. Let's go. Let's not go. Lucky because pets give 20 plus. Get 20 plus. Not my pet. My dog has cancer. Even though he's healthy in every other way. He has cancer. And he's going to die in less than a year. Most likely. And he's not even 12. So, not all pets. That's what you get for not doing drugs. True. I should have done drugs, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Reset. I'm gonna go over to Cali and punch you in the stomach because I don't want to punch you in the face. You have a beautiful face. Ping pong is not related to me. I mean, maybe we're technically all related, right? Especially Russia and Ukraine. They should just make up. Just kidding, just kidding. No one cancel me. Should have been an alligator. How long do alligators live? Why'd you say aw? Isn't it cooler that that ping pong is here, even though we're not related? Like directly related? Unless we are, and one of us is like doesn't know it. The UKR president outside the field fighting. I know. Your jokes are in another level. In a good way or a bad way? Bro, I could make much worse jokes. I just don't want to, well. I mean, it's not like I make insanely crazy jokes, but I do sometimes make some pretty crazy jokes. Alligators don't age. They just keep growing until they can't get enough food to sustain. No way, bro. So you're telling me if they had enough food to sustain themselves, they live forever? If they had enough food? Or I misunderstood it. Finally. He needs money? Who needs money? Me? I don't need money. For the goals I want, I require money, but I could sit at home for the rest of my life. I just don't want that to be the case. I mean, yes, I need money. If you guys don't give me money, I will die of hunger and thirst. I said on because you said you can't punch her in the face because she's beautiful. I said him, Dinell. I don't like girls. Ew, they have cooties. What are you, crazy? That relates to half my audience. Not the not liking girls, but the reason for not liking girls. I will die of horniness. I don't man any kind of jokes. I'm not used to it from you, maybe. I don't know. I'm pretty much myself. There's maybe once in a while where I feel like I want to say something, but I'm like, it's probably messed up. Said it every 4th grader. It's been a while, so I don't know the specifics. They might be able to get cancer or something, but I think theoretically, yes. That sounds pretty cool. Be yourself. I'm always myself. Okay? You don't need to tell me to be myself for me to be myself. But thank you. Horny will be our downfall as a society. Nah, probably people going crazy about Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. will be the downfall of the U.S.
Oh my god! How can he have done this? Republicans don't care about X. Democrats don't care about...
Shut up! No one cares. Except a lot of people care. No, I'm pretty much myself. I just don't say one or two things. It's not a big deal. I mean, we're all ourselves in different ways, right? Like, what does being yourself even mean? Because when you're talking to your parents, I assume you act very different than when you talk to your best friends, right? So, like, and when you talk, like, so when I stream, it's not exactly the same as when I talk to my closest friends, like one group of my closest friends, but it's still me being authentic, you know? I don't hide anything I would normally do. Myself. Shut up, darkness. I'm myself. Stop saying things like I'm not myself. But being yourself could change, right? Like tomorrow, I might be in a completely different mood and be speaking differently, but it's still me, you know? I don't like the way my skin feels on my body. Do you like the way your skin feels on your body? I don't think about that often, to be honest. You don't? Why don't you pull it off? Pull off your skin. It'll feel good. What? What is this? Bro, I lose brain cells when I stream, I swear to God. What even if yourself? I talk differently when I speak to different people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't hide what I want to say with you guys. Maybe for like one or two things, but mostly not. And those one or two things are not big things. Terrible run. Terrible guy. What's up, Seth? I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. How you doing? We're not doing good in the runs, but gotta get sub 20 in the next like 2 days. I haven't been doing many runs lately though, to be honest. I've been trying BRB. All right. I'm gonna charge my phone. All right. All I'm saying is I need to shave. Oh. Don't underestimate the power of horny people. You are right. You never know, right? I haven't been doing many runs because I've been thinking a lot about how I want to structure my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel. I had an editor for an anime channel, but he kind of just stopped wanting to be an editor. So that's kind of sucks for me. Well, for my content. And then figuring out what I want to do on stream next month. So like all that's been on my mind, so I haven't been doing as many runs. And I don't do runs at all outside of stream. But it has been a while. How you doing? Got it. I'm trying not to rage as much. I literally just paused it and reset it at the same time.
It's me, Mario.
This is dumb. Here we go.
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario. It's actually Ping Pong Masters. Why are you sending a... Oh, I missed the TikTok. What is this?
I don't like the way my skin feels on my body. Do you like the way your skin feels on your body? You don't? Why don't you pull it off? Pull off your skin. I bet it'll feel good. I don't like...
Okay, that's enough streaming for the day. So, this is about you to darkness. Oh, well, I can't check that out now. But I'll try to check it out at the end of this run. Oh, it should be good. I don't want to talk about the run. Finally, Lakitu. Let's just, you know, talk about Jesus. I think I saw Jesus in my dream the other day. He said hi to me. He said, "You're wasting your time. Become a teacher." And I said, "But I don't wanna. I've already done that." And he said, "Become a musician." And I was like, maybe in the future, yeah, but like now I'm streaming. And he's like, "You are wasting your life away." And I was like, Jesus, bro. You don't even know me like that. And I'm Jewish. Oh! No! That would have been the first run with Bomb Clip. And Lakitu. Well, I've never gotten Bomb Clip on a run. Oh, that would have been crazy. Bologna! That would have been a gold split. That would have given me confidence. But it's okay. I don't need confidence right now. Bologna. How have you been doing, though? Fig boy. Where am I jumping? Why did I decide to do a speed run? I've been trying to do Bomb Clip now. Yes, I try it in every run now. I would say outside of runs, I'm 40% accurate now, maybe, which is a big improvement. Yeah. You should stream early if you're tired. I think, yeah. I think I'm tired though because I did stream earlier today. But I might end up streaming earlier in general in the future. I just like how I am at nighttime more than like, I don't know. I gotta go back to swimming. When I used to swim, I felt really good. I don't exercise anymore. I've been exercising for a good amount of my life. I used to like ride my bike a lot and stuff. Now I just sit home and stare at a computer almost all day. I gotta exercise, but that'll probably make me less tired. But it's also because I streamed earlier today. And I was on the phone a lot today. I'm such a popular kid. Did I forget to go for the side? I forgot to go for the side one. We'll go for it after this star. Oh, yeah, I have to remember to dive into this, because then it just puts you straight in the thing. Oh, I thought I messed that one up. Let's go! Let's go! So far, so decent. So far, actually okay. Here we go! If I got bomb clip, that would go. How far are you from a 20-minute run? Pretty far. Because I screw up everything. I mean, this is like my second run of the day. Because I reset. I'm trying to take more risks. So there's three things that I'm specifically taking more risks on. And I'm taking the risk so I could practice these things during runs and I could get comfortable with it. One of those things is bomb clip. Another one is the left jump in bits. I forgot what it's called. And the last thing is in bit DW, long jumping twice to skip the to get the 6th and 7th coin. So because I've calculated it, I'm pretty sure I could get sub 20 if I perfect, you know, if I get all 3 of those. My time probably would be better spent practicing them, which I do sometimes towards the end of a stream, but it's like, it's so boring content for you guys, so I don't do it often. Like theoretically, I could get my sum of best is like 2023 or something. But yeah. Why are you just below gunning? What am I doing? I got distracted. I thought this was a decent split. And it's going to be decent relative to my PB, but... Oh my god, I almost screwed that up. But, yeah. But yeah, because I've been practicing those things, I have to learn my movement better too, though. If you need any more last minute help, just let me know. For sure. 4 score and 5 years ago. Okay, so I might do a 24-hour stream tomorrow. So if you could come around a little bit, I don't want to like make you, but if you're like available to like help me with stuff, then that would be awesome. With little movement stuff. Today I want to just concentrate on, at least for now, just playing a bit, you know? Just doing run after run to get certain things more consistently. I definitely know there's a lot I can improve upon. Like here. Not doing that fine. Yeah, sure. Aw, thank you. I think it'll be tomorrow, right? Because I would have to do a 24-hour stream tomorrow for it to matter, right, guys? Before the end of the month. Like, one thing I really want to practice is that triple jump. Because I know it could save me time. But I never do it right. And I feel like that's an easy thing to, like, get, you know? And I just died. Oh my god, I thought that was death. Tomorrow, the only day where you have more than 24 hours. Oh, yeah, got you. So I could start midnight tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably start stream the same time tomorrow. Like 8 p.m. Eastern. And then just go for a 24-hour stream. Why'd I jump to that? Bologna. What am I? The dog? Pavlov's dog? You keep saying Bologna, and then I'm just gonna like, it's gonna calm me down or something. Zoosh. If you asked me a month ago, will you ever speedrun Mario 64? I would be like, are you on crack? Why would I do that? And now, I'm on crack. Just don't tell anyone. Yes! Ah! See, I'm trying to take risks like that. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I did start it a month ago. Oh, okay. I'm trying to get better with my movement, to be moving more often. Okay. Like, I'm sure there's a way to skip this part. I just don't know how to do it. I mean, I haven't practiced it enough, I guess. Oh my god. Bro! Oh my god. I tried a long jump off of that. That was actually really good. I gotta learn how to do that more often. Not that part. Where am I jumping? I hate the camera, bro. I actually wanna, like... No maidens? What do you mean by that? How? How? I'm so over it. I should have played this game 12 hours a day. It's the only way to get better. Or be just a god. Alright, see ya, ping pong. Thanks for popping in. Sorry you had to see me like this. I just really get annoyed and triggered sometimes. That would have been Lakitu, I think. Bro, I don't know how I'm gonna do this for 24 hours. I think I'm gonna go crazy. I feel like I need a break from this game if I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream on it. Amos Richa, I hope your whole family dies. In a video game. Maybe chill Hollow Knight for 2 hours. Oh my god. Nah. I think, I gotta spend time thinking about video ideas. And stream ideas. Oh my god. I can't play games right now. Eyes? What? Why are you, what does that mean? Why am I'm ground pounding more than anything else. Like, I didn't even get it, bro. Sometimes when I just don't give a shit in the game, I play so much better. Like, look at that. I'll take it. Never mind. Applause application, right. I feel like I'm playing this game for the first time. That was actually pretty cool. I gotta be more confident like that. Never mind. At least you ain't... Hey, you almost got me with that. You're such a troll. You're such a sussy baka. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'm impressed I ain't banned. You're gonna get me banned, bruh. Hey, I'm getting practice in this area, so it's not terrible. Like, look how much faster this would be if I did it nicely. I usually don't take that many risks, but it takes so much longer to finish bid TW. So I think this is worth it. I bet you'd be happier if you played Hollow Knight. Bro, I would be happier if I had an editor for my anime reactions channel. And I knew what I was doing with my main channel for YouTube. But it's okay because it will happen. Time heals all something. There's an expression. How do people keep their momentum and still do that? I'm so done, bro. I'm so done. Definitely not by falling off. True. I think I'm just gonna get mad. Yeah, I think I might just end stream. And we'll do a 24-hour stream tomorrow. No, I can't take it slow. That's the thing. If I take it slow, I don't save time. Like, believe it or not, all these small movements actually saves you an insane amount of time at the end of the day. Like, I would have been like 3 seconds behind now, probably. Look at that. How crazy was that? I just need to do that better and every time. No, I'm not gonna end stream. I'm not gonna end stream. What the hell was that? Ah. Three birds, one stone. Play Hollow Knight, make Hollow Knight videos, have Hollow Knight energy reaction videos for anime. True. I don't have anger. Bro, I don't know what you think anger issues are. Have you ever met someone that has anger issues? You're like, yeah, you, Pink. Someone who actually has anger issues. Bro, like, we literally looked it up on stream together. But okay. I don't know if you're just trying to get me mad. Let's go. I'm just very competitive against myself. More so than against others. I'm playing, but still. When you say I'm playing, but still, you're inferencing that I have anger issues. I don't, bro. You're implying, I mean. No, I just have anger and issues. Yes, I think that's more accurate. I definitely have issues. I don't have issues, bro. I'm a normal person. I know nowadays everyone on Twitter and social media has issues or claims to have issues. Maybe a lot of them do. I don't know. I don't got issues. I'm Gucci, okay? I have a normal life. No, I don't have a normal life. But I'm a normal guy. I'm not a normal guy. No one is normal. I'm fine. Okay? I'm fine. I don't know what the hell I just did. It's just also when things are worse content, I just feel it all plays together. Like I feel like it's worse content, me just screwing up over and over. So I feel bad for bringing you guys bad content. And then I'm just getting, like, that plays onto it, too. I just want cookies and food and milk. You know, cookies are food, so you just want food and milk. But okay. What if I just stream until I get sub 20? Starting now. Stream doesn't end until I get sub 20. What if I just do that? Believe it or not, I have some responsibilities, but if I could delegate those responsibilities to others. I want pizza now too. Nah, actually I don't want pizza. I had pizza a lot lately. Why? Why does the camera do that, bro? Sounds like you're having sex with yourself, Mario. Okay, I did it. I took the risk. Okay, I want to take this. I want to do that. Oh. Not that. Hey, Triple G with the raid. Ratty, I remember you. Thanks for the raid, bro. Do better. You are right. Do better. Hey, thanks for the... Oh, Ghosty Boo, you followed me earlier today. Thank you for that. I didn't realize you're from Triple G. There's a lot of hello there's. Sheesh. Triple G raid! Let's go! Nah. Doctor be putting out, do better. I will! Thanks for shouting him out. Jesus, that looks so intense. Damn, he looks so different there. For those that don't know, this is Triple G. Check him out. He's really cool. He plays Breath of the Wild. I think everyone in chat knows you by now, but, you know, you never know. How you guys doing? It's part of the grind. I don't mind watching. You never know when PB will happen. Okay. I was just getting sad because I'm playing, like, trash. But then I told myself to stop being sad, and I became less sad. And then you guys rated, and now I'm happy. I don't know why I'm yelling. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? For those that want to know what we do here, I don't know what we do here, but I'm a weird guy. Oh my god. We do collab streams once a week. Right now we're trying to PB on this game, but I suck. We're doing a challenge in this game, trying to beat the game in less than 20 minutes. Right now we're kind of just practicing because this run is over. What else do we do here? We're gonna start doing like challenge stuff in the future for like, or like I don't know, like if you ever watch a Ludwig, stuff like a Ludwig does, just cool stuff. But yeah, we're doing 24-hour stream now. Possibly actually, we might just stream until I PB. So, yeah, let's just say we're doing that. We're streaming till I PB. Hey, that wasn't bad. I love him long time. Do the better of the things. Thank you, Paradox. You give the best advice. I think we just killed your run. No, my run was dead before you guys came in, so, oh, thank God. If you guys killed my run, I would ban every single one of you. Just kidding. I would only ban Triple G for rating. We heard you? Oh. Time for a Mario-thon. Yeah, let's do it. Solid advice. I always give solid advice sometimes. Do-do-do-do. 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 Grab the tail. I think Mario has a fetish with Bowser's tail. Okay, because he always touches it. Next run is going to be it. Let's go! Yeah. It might be it. Does anyone here play Breath of the Wild? Not Breath of the Wild. Super Mario? Jesus. Oh my god. I apologize for that. Oh. No kid. I'm not shaming him. I'm just saying, you know? Or maybe I did shame. I don't remember what I said, but I'm not trying to shame him. We just need Cortez's good luck. True. Do you guys have any kinks? Primary. I feel like you definitely have a kink. You're the type of person. I know just by knowing. Where am I going? Oh, that was bars. This way. Have you guys ever speed ran this game? How you doing though, Triple? You tired? I feel like I would be tired. Yep. What did I say? I know people so well. I know people so well. Like I know you're a Twitch viewer. I know that you're funny. I know that you have Prime because there's a thing next to your name. I know that you like paradoxes. I know so much about you already. Life is boring if you don't have kinks. Yeah. Life is boring if you just don't. Don't what? If you just don't. Oh, that was a good jump. When I was younger, I had a... Hey, how'd you remember that exact quote number? Jesus. Yes, I did indeed have a foot fetish. Hey, thanks for the follow. I knew you would follow, though, because I know you that well. You like when people give you compliments, so that's why you followed. Haha. Okay, don't unfollow me. I apologize. If I win the next run, I will gift... No, I gifted way too many subs today. I will say thanks for the support, guys. I'll do that. You are awesome. PingoPo7, nice. I don't know if it shows on your screen as PingoPo or it actually shows the emote. Regardless. How's life? How's life? What type of kinks do you like, Paradox? If I'm asking too many questions, just tell me, and I'll try to ask even more. I mean, less. Oh, this might be a gold split. Oh, did you guys see that? I just recovered like a goddamn boss. This is not a. It's not a gold split. It's okay. Here we go. Triple J, I didn't see the shout out. Kyle, were you playing Breath of the Wild? Oh no, you were doing the siblings thing, right? And then maybe Breath of the Wild, but you were doing the siblings thing, right? Siblings are like having sex with each other or something? How did that go? Was that like cool? Did it inspire you? Or I hope it didn't inspire. I don't know if you have siblings, but Rio homeschooled people. Yeah, you said Rio before. What do you mean by Rio homeschooled people? Oh, RIP. You said Rio and then something else before, I think. Damn, you like a girl named Rio, huh? I had a friend who was with a girl named Rio, and she was I don't know, she would tell him like, "Oh my god, what if we have nothing to talk about because we've talked about everything so far?" I'm like, "Bro, what?" I've never heard a person say that before. What if we stop being friends because we have nothing to talk about? Like, imagine you're with a girl or a guy or, you know, whatever you want to be with, and they're like, and they're like, and they tell you, what if we have nothing to talk about anymore? Like, what? I mean, that's why we keep talking, right? Rio is a dope movie. It's also a place. Sweet Home Alabama. Hell yeah. Sibling or dating. It was fun, then we laughed and lost. Ooh. I never laugh at Laugh or Loses. You know why? Because I have no soul. But, you know what Churo told me? In the middle of the challenge earlier today? He's like, why does Triple G have the laugh of a 60-year-old woman or something? And I was like, I don't know, but it's a great laugh. My laugh sucks. My laugh is like, I don't even know what it's like. I don't know what it's like because I've never laughed on stream because I'm always depressed playing this game. Like, pick him up. Pick him up. Nope, he doesn't want to pick him up. That egg dog got you. For those wondering, there's a glitch here where you basically take this stupid-ass rabbit, you put him, you clip yourself through, and then you grab him and you say, "Come with me, little boy." And the reason you do that, I shouldn't say little boy, little rabbit boy. The reason you do that is so you could clip through this and become a pro player. Ow. That's a scary looking emote. Ratty Do. I don't know why. You just seem like really cool. I'm not trying to like suck up to you. Maybe a little bit. But like when I raided or jumped into Triple G's stream the other day and you were talking, I was just like, Ratty seems cool. You are? See, I know people. I'm telling you, I know people. You don't laugh, you behitten? Yes. English. It's a hard language. You bring hate to night. Tonight. That could have gone in a different direction. Come on. I'm not gonna rage anymore. I really want to rage. But I'm not gonna do it. Because you know what? If I'm gonna play for the next 20 hours, I know that this is not gonna be a good run. And that's fine, because I get practice. And I get to talk to chat. And even though I have 10,000 people here, I'm trying to figure out the other way to do this. There's a way to side jump this. Oh. That seemed like the way. I think he rides motorcycles, which is why he's cool. Hi, and yeah, you know what's up. How do you know it's a he? Huh? That's kind of not his assumption. Motor gang. Wait, you're part of a gang, Dinell? That's so cool. You guys ever watch Tokyo Revenger? Oh my god. This goddamn babam. Tokyo Revengers, best anime, changed my mind. Okay, it's not best anime, but it's a good anime. Who watches anime, though? Am I right? Okay, great. I definitely wanted that to happen. What a shit run. I mean, obviously, but... No point in rushing. I gotta wait anyway. Rushing. Russian, you get it? Ukraine, Russia. Funny. I'm funny. Oh. That anime sucks. That anime is friggin' godlike. I'm in fact a he. I knew that. I was just, I was I don't remember the last time I died there. I was testing chat. I wanted to see if anyone would, you know, argue that you're not a he. I chat with Dinel when he's hanging out with Triple. Gotcha. Naruto! Naruto's okay. Hey, Spicy! That was indeed not funny. Oh, I'm sorry. How you doing? How you feeling? I'm feeling pretty sad, but I'm okay because you're here. But really, it's because Ratty is here, and he just he reminds me of my pet rat that died a few years ago. I didn't feed him enough, and then I had my cat kill it by accident. Do you guys ever have a pet rat? Well, Ratty probably does. What am I doing? I can't read chat. Sorry, guys. It's so hard when you have 10,000 viewers and you can't read chat. My life is so hard. Someone say Naruto? Well, I don't know if Dinel's a hit. Dinel's a girl, so if you're single, Ratty, you should hit him up. Hit her up. Sorry. I thought for the longest time he was a guy. That's why I said that. Am I a heaping? Do you know me? Of course I know you. Damn, I've had 5. You've had 5 what? 5 rats? Really? That's 5 more than Spicy Hindu had. Probably. I don't know. Just want to include him in the conversation, you know. Pick up your tail. Let's go. This is gonna be a. We're gonna PB, baby. I'm married with a son. So. Why are you married with your son? Jesus. That's actually kind of weird. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with rats. That's pretty normal. I hate rats. That's actually pretty normal. I feel like everyone who's on Twitch is a weirdo. I'm not saying it as a diss. I'm just saying it as some... Either that or everyone in life is a weirdo, but they only share their weirdness on Twitch because in life you see people's faces. I don't know. I don't get jealous. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Dinel could you could have some fun there. Spicy, did you actually enjoy my last video? Because I appreciate it. Yes, that worked. That is 100% facts. Right? Well, that's just the internet in general, probably. Especially when you don't show your face. Like, sometimes I watch political... Okay, how does this not go through, bro? Sometimes I watch political, like, YouTube. And, like, some of them are streamers. And, there are some people that don't put a face cam or they put a VTuber and then they yell and stuff. And I'm just like, you're such a wussy. Put your face on and yell. Don't yell without your face showing. Like, I understand if you're too shy and stuff, but if you're, like, yelling at people, bro, come on. I want to see your face. But that's just me. Watched all of it. Aww. But enjoyed watching all of it is very different than watched all of it. I share way too much with strangers on the streets. Yeah, I do too. It's probably why I got mugged. I'm dude though, and not into guys. No more joking. Yeah, you tell him. Stop trying to catfish Ratty. Even though Ratty has a son. You know what I've realized? Triple's audience is older. Triple, how do you do it? I need to get your... I need to figure out how you do it. Because my audience is... My audience is average age 12 years old. Listen, nothing wrong with that. You know, some 12-year-olds are mature, but a lot of them are not. And sometimes it's just... Hey, you know Miskiff? Yo, I love Miskiff. I watch Miskiff's YouTube videos every day. He's like one of the only YouTubers I watch. I mean, he's a streamer, but... I love Miskiff. I'm gonna meet him one day. Probably not, but make a Miskiff look bad. Wait, I might get a gold split here. Nah, Miskiff is much better than me at this game. He just got like a PB of like 18 minutes, I think, recently. Oh, if I got that first try, that would be beautiful. I've only been playing for a month, so I'm pretty much a god gamer. Just join OTK. I mean, that's the plan. No, that's not the plan. The plan is to be my own person. To be bigger than Miskiff. To bring joy to the hearts of many. And to pummel their organization to the ground. Why did you use... Oh, wow. I actually got that fairly quickly. That's a first. I got the good luck of Ratty. Ratty Tatty. And of... Why did I not move there? What was I doing? Of Ratty Tatty and of... I was about to say of propaganda. What it... Of... Damn it! I forgot your name. It's a Paradox. Paradox. I didn't forget. I just misremembered. I share way too much. And I go by he. Make a Miskavluga. I say way too much at bars, too, even without drinking. You get several 18-year-olds. Whoa! I do not get 18-year-olds. That's way too old for me. It's just a joke, guys. It's just a joke. Yeah. I found Triple on YouTube. Really? Did you actually? Wow. That is really cool. Which channel? He has so many channels. Channels. I see people upload Twitch clips of him all the time. Really? Just join OTK, I got you. Bro, I knew you would get me. I knew you were that type of person, Ratty. You're just that type of person. What person has 5 rats and isn't just an amazing person? Grab his tail. Let's go. I gotta find a way to grab his tail better. Like, you could jump midair and grab it, apparently, but I don't know how to do that.
Guys. Oh my god, this is crazy. I'm gonna PB.
I haven't done this bad since the second day I've played this game. Did you get left side first try? Third try. But I was able to recover nicely, which was nice. A lot of the times I'll fall off. Guys, you were here for the PB! Oh my god! Oh my... Oh my god. Sub an hour. Yeah, sure did. And on his stream, Sensei channel. Oh. Gotcha. Stream Sensei. Oh, that's the one where he helps people, right? Maybe that's what I gotta do. People tell me, become a teacher. Become a musician. Maybe that's what I gotta do. Teach people how to do stuff on YouTube, on the internets. I see people upload Twitch clips of him all the time. Yeah, I think Triple told me that he tells people to like keep in mind when there's cool moments to clip it and stuff. So, which is pretty smart. I should delegate it to you guys, but I don't want to make you guys do work. You come here to avoid doing work, except Doctor, because he's a mod. Oh no, I meant Miskiff. Oh. Well, yeah, obviously. Miskiff is so huge. They upload everything. I hope you guys didn't see my armpits. That was kind of weird. All right, let's do another run. We're gonna do the first run after the raid. We will win. Yeah, Miskiff is... I like him. He makes me feel good in my insides. That sounds very sus. I am not gonna say that ever. Why? I pressed the wrong button. That's why. The first two days that we were streaming this, February 1st and 2nd, I donated money to Miskiff. And I was like, hey, I'm playing Mario. And he ignored it. He ignored it. And I cried. Well, of course he would ignore it. He gets donated every 10 seconds. But... Well, he actually looks at it the second day, I think. Like, for 3 days, I think. My plan was to like challenge him at the end of the month, but I gave up because I think it's not a good way to get someone's attention. Like, imagine someone came out to my stream and gave me one. Well, I'm a small streamer, so it's different. But gave me like 1 penny, which I would still appreciate, to be honest. But like earlier, I think Ghost cheered like 6 bits. So like, I appreciate that. But let's say someone just does every day, just cheers 1 bit and says, "Yo, I'm playing Mario," and they just say that every day for a month. I would just be like, okay, what do you want from me? I would respect the dedication. Yeah, maybe I should have gone with it. I don't know. That was bad. You gotta go to the dinner with the fam. Alright. Well, it was nice to see you more. Thanks for the laughs. You laughed? I actually got someone to laugh? Let's go. Good luck on the PB. Later, chat. Later, alligator. Or should I say rat? I'm so funny. Wait, I gotta press bye-bye. Oh! Damn it! No momentum. Shit. I gotta press bye-bye. Huh? Okay. I press bye-bye. Enjoy dinner, and I hope you're not eating rats for dinner. That was such a bad joke. I've never been as big as him, so I don't know. I mean, he's not... I know you're skinny, but that's kind of mean to say, you know. Bye-bye. Bye, Ratty. Ratty do. Ratty do what Ratty says. I don't know. I feel like... Well, he's gonna leave, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. Ping, stop with the cringe jokes. That's what you do when you're a streamer. You have to fill the time, right? Because imagine, I have 10,000 viewers right now, right? But if like the 10,001th person comes in and they just hear me not saying anything for like 2 seconds, they will leave. This is how the Twitch world works. So I gotta be constantly talking. Because I constantly talk, you're gonna hear cringe jokes. Otherwise, it's just perfection. It's the best jokes you've ever heard in your life. Is that good? I don't know if that's good. Hey, we've been doing good with that today. Here we go! I think I might set up an auto splitter. Because the fact of the matter, that's a big words. Fact of the matter is, when I don't have an auto splitter, I play worse. I think. I shouldn't say that. I've never played with an auto splitter. But I think an auto splitter would make me not look at the time. And that would make me play better. Because every time I feel like... every time I look at the time, I get anxious sometimes. Not every time, sometimes. The cringe makes me sad. Well, your mom in my bed last night made me sad. Because Jesus Christ, do I feel bad for her. I don't know. Yeah, the cringe is actually really bad. I'm sorry. What do you mean by when? Like sub 28? Well, what do you mean by what do you mean? Jesus Christ, that was terrible. No, there's an auto split setup on the thing. I just haven't. Stop. Would you rather me not talk? Wait, don't answer that. You would. Let's go. There's an auto split on live split for this game. I just don't have it set up. Yes. I said don't answer it. This is a bad run. Just kidding. It could be better. We'll see what happens after. Oh, loud. That's cringe, bro. Who says oh, loud? Unless you're an independent African-American woman. Oh, I got it. Which you're not, Dino, okay? Was that racist? You see, I feel like I don't know if I should say stuff like that. I want pizza. And I want $1 million, okay? Sometimes you could get what you want. You just have to try hard and get lucky. If you already downloaded one, it should take like 10 seconds. I haven't because I'm a dumbass. That's literally the reason. Because I tried for like 10 seconds and it wasn't working out. And so I just never ended up doing. I'll try to do it after this run. I think it'll make me play much better. Or at least longer. That's what she said. Let's go.
Here we go.
It's gonna switch my splits up though, because I split at weird times, but it is what it is. I wanted to ow. Also, part of me was like, I might as well get experience splitting, since not every game has auto splitter. Well, that's kind of dumb. And it's not like I'm gonna be speedrunning a lot of games. I will do boo ba da ba. I also don't know how to set up. Oh, I didn't kick this time. I thought it would be better, but it's evidently worse. Nice ping. Let's go. Let's go.
Here we go.
What was I saying, guys? Does anyone remember? Sub 20 today, hour 1. I'm gonna change my title every hour. Hour 1. Hour 2. Hour 3. Hour 4. And then it'll just be me getting mad. Oh, I forgot to watch the YouTube video you sent. Jesus Christ, Jamorant is amazing. I can't believe I missed him playing to watch you. Who's Jamorant? Oh, the basketball player. Yeah, he's insane, bro. He's the best French player I've seen in years. And that's saying something. Because, you know, French players are pretty good, you know. Especially in the WNBA. Even though he's in the NBA, you know, I think he gets a lot of his excellence from his WNBA counterparts because they've pushed him to become a stronger and better player, which you can't say much about a lot of other French NBA players. So I can understand why you kind of feel bad for missing him, you know? Because I'll be honest, I kind of miss him too. I try to catch all his games. I think honestly, he's one of a kind. I don't know another basketball player that's French that's as amazing as he is. And then how he talks about Russia and how much he loves it. It's so beautiful, you know? He loves Russia more than... I mean, he just loves it. And he's being very honest and forthright with his feelings and emotions. And you know what? I can respect that. Even if I might not agree with him, at least he's honest, you know? He's not hiding behind a veil like so many other people do. I screwed that up. CSF. Thank you. Maybe we'll get sub 20. All the good games have auto splitters. Oh. So then, yeah, I'm just dumb, I guess. I gotta get better at BitTW. Alright, we're just gonna reset right here. I don't care. Who is Jamorant, by the way? Alright, let me show you guys what I look at, alright? Except my PP. I don't want to show you guys that, but edit splits. There's no auto splitter available for this game. I don't know if it's gonna save all my times. So I'm gonna take a picture of this in case it doesn't. Because I am not very bright. If you guys have not been able to tell yet. So yeah. Okay. So if we go here and we type in Super Mario. 64. PC. Does that work? What is K? I don't speak Spanish. D. PP? No, PC, stupid. PC. Run category. Vanilla. I'm not. We have 194 attempts, by the way, guys. Sheesh. Jesus. USA. DC. A 16 star. What's the difference between vanilla? Non-stop vanilla. Before I click on that, let me just look this up. Non-stop vanilla versus vanilla. It's such a weird thing to look up. SM64. Render has significant advantage over all versions. Okay. We'll move runs of the vanilla. Yeah, what does vanilla mean? I'm guessing this is vanilla. Vanilla just means like normal, right? Maybe non-stop he does. That's about 7 attempts per day. Vanilla is like basic. I'm a basic bitch. Is that what you're telling me? So this is fine, right? Vanilla. I don't know what. Okay. Associate with speedrun.com. Speedrun.com run URL. I don't know what that means. Game time. There's no auto. Why does says there's no auto splitter? I thought there was. I remember seeing that there was. For example, vanilla migrate. Like I know what vanilla means, but like, would this be considered vanilla? See, this is why I didn't set up an auto splitter. I was like confused. Let me go to the auto split website that Doctor sent before. Well, let me see this first. Oh yeah, it's Jean Morand. It's this guy, yeah.
That was a nice. They ran like a.
Oh, that looked mad nice actually. I don't watch basketball, but that looked mad nice. Yo, that was mad nice. That was mad nice. Auto split is a program used to automatically control live split. Oh. Downloads? Do people use this? Is this like legal? Like for the runs? I mean, I already have auto split, live split, so. Oh, you probably have to apply it to live split. You don't know? Is auto split 64 legal for vanilla SM64? Auto split. Looks like it requires. Huh. It doesn't say. Did I not press the getting starting video? Oh, there's no video. What? There's no video. How you telling me there's a getting started video and there's no video? It's probably this.
Hello and welcome to the AutoSplit 64 getting started video.
Jesus, I have so many
automatic
tabs open.
Control live split for Super Mario 64 speedruns based on analyzing your game capture.
Okay, is it legal? Got a new hard drive. I love how I had no idea about live split. It's not capturing. Let me just control F. Legal? Legal. Legal? Speedrun? Speedrun. Oh.
To begin, head over to the AutoSplit 64 website, which is just autosplit64.com.
I got
go to the
you.
download section.
I did that,
we'll start
baby.
by downloading the LiveSplit server.
I did.
This is what
Oh,
AS64 uses to communicate with LiveSplit.
Oh, I had to download that too. I misunderstood that.
Open the downloaded zip, go to your LiveSplit installation, and then the components folder, and copy.
Live split components. Is this fun for you guys to watch? Is this fun? I don't know why I'm being so crazy today. We're gonna extract this. That's a thing, right? Extracting. Apparently not here. It's not letting me. Oh, it is. I'm dumb. Okay, if I extract it, I don't need this file. Okay, what I'm gonna have to do now, boys, ladies, and gentlemen, and gentlewomen, sub emote folder, wrong folder. I'm gonna have to go to where live split is, and I'm very organized. Very organized. We go to live split, components.
Copy the to zip in the live split server. This is what AS64 uses to communicate with live split. Open the downloaded zip, go to your live split installation, and then the components folder, and copy the two BLL files into the components folder. With that installed,
BLL, baby.
open live split,
BLL.
edit layout, add.
Oh, I probably should close live
With that
split.
added, make sure you save your layout. You can now start and stop the live split server via
okay.
right-click, control, start server.
Save. Exit.
Control live split server files.
Wait, that's
into the
everything?
components folder. With that installed, open live split.
Let's
Edit layout.
go.
Add control live split server. With
Add
that added, make sure you
control
save your
live split server. Add control live split server. Add control live split server. I'm gonna forget if I don't say it 5 times in a row. Add control server. I forgot. Add control live split server. Oh, added methods to get the current time. Multiple IP addresses are now listed. Now compatible. Do you want to update? I guess. I don't know. I'm just a person. Add edit layout. Add control live split server. Let's
layout.
go.
You can now start and stop the live split server via right-click, control, start server.
Wait.
With that added, make sure you save your layout. You can
Save
now start and
layout.
stop the live split server via right-click,
Ah.
control, start server.
Wait, you're too fast, bro. You're too fast. Save splits, save layout. And then control start server. Let's go. Allow access? I don't want to allow access. Did you guys see me allowing access? Oh, you guys didn't. I went back to my thingy, huh? Interesting. Okay, now what?
The live split server installed, we'll head back over to the AutoSplit64 website and download AS64 itself.
I did that, baby. I'm one step ahead of you,
Open
stupid.
the downloaded archive.
I did it,
Create a
baby.
folder to extract the contents to.
Huh? Create folder to extract the contents? Oh, no. I have to change it from a 7Z to a 7.5. 7-zip. Oh, open art. Extract here. Never mind. That was... Whoa! I shouldn't have extracted it here. That's a lot of stuff. Oh, I should have made a folder called AS60. Yo, this guy is like mad smart. Maybe he's just regular smart and I'm just dumb. Let's go. All right, I'm going to open a new window. We're going to go here. Mario ASMR, it's called, right? ASMR. Just kidding. I'm not that dumb. And we're going to control Z this. Can I control Z this? Can I just delete all of this? I can. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. I'm going to move this into my other folder here. This is some crazy stuff here. And we're going to extract. No. Where is it? Where is it? Didn't I make a folder here? Oh, new folder. Did I not name it? AS64? AS64. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to go extract here. Boom, that should be good. Okay. Oh,
Files
okay.
extracted. It's now installed and ready to use. The last step will be to go to live split, edit
split?
splits, and set
Edit
the timer
splits.
to start at 3 seconds.
Okay. Capture. Oh, this
To
video
begin
is so
using
long.
AutoSplit64, you must first let it know where to capture your game.
1:36. It says correction. Timer starts at 1:36 now.
Open your capture software. I use Amarak.
Wait, did he also? Is his live split like mine?
Split, edit splits, and set the time.
Super Mario 64 16 run. Oh, mine is PC. This is different. Should I just do Super Mario 64? Just the regular one? And then do 16 star? I feel like that's better. Yeah. He has 400 attempts. Oh, I'm 2 times worse than him.
Timer to start at 3 seconds.
Okay. Capture coordinates.
To begin using AutoSplit 64, you must first let it know where to capture your game. To open your capture software, I use Amarak, and then open AutoSplit 64.
Yo, this is so complex. Jesus. What's up, Angel? We're trying to figure something out right here. How you doing, though? AutoSplit 64XE. Jesus, I feel like a programmer. Okay.
Right-click, edit coordinates, and you want this rectangle to match the game's edges perfectly. You'll notice mine is already set up correctly, and
edit coordinates. Huh? Huh?
that's because my Amarak is on this rectangle to match the game's edges. Right, I use Amarak, and then open AutoSplit 64.
Huh?
Right click.
I use OBS.
And you want this rectangle to match the game's edges.
Oh, he said right click. I didn't do that part. Edit. Jesus. Just making some kids cry in PUBG. Nice. Are you good in PUBG? PUBG. Oh, here. Process. Streamer bot. No. Project 64. Oh, cool.
Perfectly. You'll notice mine is already set up correctly, and that's because my Amarak is at its default size. To get Amarak to its default size, right-click, aspect and scan 4:3, then right-click 100%. If you wanted to use a different program, such as OBS, you go to the Process dropdown and select the program here. If your capture is at a different size, and the rectangle doesn't match the game's borders, just drag each edge to match, ensuring you are as accurate as possible, as this greatly affects the splitter's reliability. Spend a little bit more time lining this up, but once you have the edges lined up properly, press apply to save your changes.
This is so weird, man. Ah!
To detect resets, AutoSplit 64 looks for the starting logo of Super Mario. To help it find these, we'll generate custom templates based on your own game capture. To do this, right-click, Generate Reset Templates.
Complicated.
From an in-game screen, click Generate, and then reset your console.
Okay, I'm gonna understand this. Jesus, we're only halfway through. Oh, I thought this would be so much easier. I'm sorry, guys. I have so many tabs open. I'm not good, but I'm good enough. That's good. All right, so we go here, and I have to take OBS. You guys get to see my face as I do this. Actually, no, don't look at my face. I gotta get the game in. OBS. Do you play PUBG? No, I do not play PUBG. I play with your mom. Just kidding. I don't do that. Messed up. I was wondering why it's not showing anything. It's because the goddamn game's not open. I'm so dumb. You can say that again. I'm so dumb. Well, you don't have to say it again. It's a me, Mario. Minimize that. Open ROM. Open the game. Lower the goddamn music because it's insanely loud. Error. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do auto splitter not now because Jesus Christ, bro. This is like a whole goddamn process. I don't know. It's not working now. You're so dumb. No, yo.
We will attempt to find the two matching images. If these do not line up, you can use the offsets here.
Okay, this is good. This is good, actually. This is good. Pongus? What's up, Jared? I'm trying to set up something right now. It's like kind of irritating, but how you doing, bro? How you doing? How you doing? I thought you meant there was already one. When there's pre-made ones, it's easy. It's a whole thing to do this. Yeah, I didn't realize. Oh, it's so annoying. Wait, so do speedrunners actually do this? Or like, is it even legal? That's the question I had to find. How you doing though, Jared? How you doing? Is auto split 64 legal for speed runs?
Monkey do bad.
Monkey do very bad. Just enable global Oh, I could split with my controller. But that's different. I'm using the auto splits and besides the auto splitter, different settings only for project. Bro. I don't know, man. This seems really complicated. Let's just play the game. I don't mind clicking the stuff, to be honest. I'm getting ready for bed and just chilling. Had a nice little MK stream. Mario Kart. Wait, you play Mario Kart? That's so cool. Just kidding. I knew you played already. I don't know. I'm being very weird today. Very weird. Very weird. Runs of this game require video proof. Ooh. Let me just platform Nintendo 64. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna set this up so in case I get a PB that I want to actually submit, it's all Gucci. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? PC 16 star. Okay. Thanks for the raid. Cool. Did you play with Jimmy? Okay, honey. Weird is welcome. It's not too weird. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna change the split so it doesn't start at a second, because don't need that. Also gonna compare against personal best, and we should be good for the next run. Oh my god, there's so much shit open. Sorry guys, give me a sec. Sorry guys. Oh, I had 2 projects open. No wonder. Oh, I had 2 things open. Okay. Okay, it's still showing. Okay, cool. Did you win a lot of games, or was just chill with like peeps? Auto splitters in general are more accurate. There's no reason they should be illegal in most cases. That makes sense. But I was just thinking maybe if it was easy to like, you know, cheat on it or whatever. Got some rounds in with Jimmy and the rest of chat. Nice. Damn, was Doctor there? Doctor better have been there. Just kidding. Alright. Boom, we're just gonna start another run. Has to give them their fix before I deprive them tomorrow for ACNH. What the hell is Doctor was there? What is ACNH? American. What? Did I not just check? Now my controller fell.
It's me, Mario.
Today is just an annoying day. In a lot of ways. But it's fine. I could have sworn I just... Oh, it's because I reset it. I'm a dumbass. Okay. I definitely got a couple of wins. Let's go! Animal Crossing, New Leaf. New Horizon. Why are you playing Animal Crossing? Didn't Animal Crossing come out a while ago? You know when Doctor wasn't spitting in my face? I am weird. Yeah. Animal Crossing, New Horizon. Didn't that come out like a year or 2 ago? Or did it just... Right? I mean, I'm pretty sure I have that game. I got it when it came out. Imagine I get a 1959, but I pressed the split at the wrong time. Horizon, my bad. My brain auto-filled. Oh, I thought you were trolling. I missed the whole wave when it launched in 2020. Bro, honestly, you need to be so focused to play that game. Not so focused, but you need to be like... You need to play it every day for it to matter. That's why I stopped playing it. That's one of the reasons I stopped playing it. Also because my friends just hacked it and it made it boring for me. But, did it launch in 2020? Did I really get that game in the first year I went to Japan? Damn. I think I went 2020 to Japan. I don't remember. Yeah, Horizon. Let's go. We're thinking of doing like a 24-hour stream of this game right now. But I don't know. I want to scream every 10 seconds with this game. So. Let's go. and my goddamn underwear keeps going up my crotch. Ugh. Are you Oh my god. Bro, I can't. Bro. Oh my god. It's actually chafing. It launched with Doom Eternal? Oh, I didn't realize that. Every system has their own Horizon game, I swear. That's actually funny. Yeah, I was thinking of Horizon when he said Horizon. All the Doom guy Isabelle memes. I don't know those memes. Lick my ball. Come on, Angel. Bro, if you're gonna trick me with something better. PS has Horizon Forbidden West. Xbox has Forza Horizon. Nintendo has New Horizons. Yeah, but it's also just like the word Horizon is a very common word, but that is pretty funny. Probably not every console. Are there any Steam games with Horizon? Aren't they having like a Steam console soon? That might be good. That might be good. And it's shit because I'm shit at video games. I might as well reset right now, but no. I'm supposed to be in the mindset of it's all practice. Or else I'll go crazy. I know that meme. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just saying Ligma. Oh. They're all first-party games, too. What's a first-party game? Oh. Ad starts in 4 minutes. Haha, you guys suck. Okay, my long jumping is better now. So what do you guys think of how good I am at video games? Remember the Titan obsession with Attack on Titan, Titanfall, Destiny Titans? I don't know what Destiny Titans is. I know what Destiny is. There's like Destiny 1 and 2, right? Teen Titans reboot. It's both. Horizon Zero Dawn is on Steam, and so Forza Horizon. Ah. But is there a game only made for PC? That's just a different question. I'm just curious. That's not made for like other stuff that has Horizon in it? Because that would be cool. First party means it's made in-house. Oh, okay. That is pretty cool. Bruh! Bruh. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go play some games. I'll be back. I didn't get Lakitu, Bomb Clip, freaking Cannonless. It's me, Mario. Oh, I just went. Oh. Princess Toadstool. Peach. No, you're a beach. Tittyfall. There's also Tittyfall too. But yeah, Titan Obsession was a thing too, for sure. I mean, Titan Obsession is still a thing now with Attack on Titan, but... Oh my god. I don't know how speedrunners do it. Well, I guess I'm a speedrunner, but like... I guess it's also because I have so much on my mind. Let's go, baby. That saves 8 seconds for those that don't know. You skipped the stupid cameraman coming to you. Okay, so far so good. If I get bomb clip, I could get a gold split. That actually makes my my SOB, which is not son of a bitch in this game, pretty high. The stupid ass thing got in the way. Oh, it almost hit me. My mouse is in the way now too. Minus 6.1 seconds. Minus 6.1 seconds. Yeah, I'm gonna start long jumping that. I think it's much faster. Yeah, that's definitely a faster way to get to the next area. I have to remember that. I don't long jump as much as I should. I've already saved like 20-30 seconds just by long jumping more often. But I think definitely a few like some amount of seconds. Ooh, this feels good. Oh, that's what the actual speedrunners do. Will that be good? If this is good, this is off to a good start. Let's go. It's actually off to a good run, like start. Could have been better if I bomb clipped, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Nice, Pink. I jinxed it. I will say that I think I need bomb clip to PB. Or I just need to be insanely better. I guess not insanely better, but bomb clip saves like 10 seconds. I almost forgot to change the direction. Oh, I almost missed that. That would have been so bad. Hit me, baby, one more time. Come on. Oh my god, he's crouching. That lost me a possible gold split, but that's fine. Real talk, I think I'm gonna fall asleep any second. Are you saying I'm that boring? I agree. Have a great night. Thanks for popping in, bro. I do appreciate it. Love you, Jared. And may your sleep be as successful as your channel. I don't know. Have a good night. Have a good night. Probably shouldn't do Russian accents anymore. Because of, you know, what's going on. I don't know. Nice ping. Let's go. I need to set that up better. Okay, that was good. That was actually good. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Appreciate the sentiment. Thank you. Good night, boy. Good night, boy. Great night, bro. And I'm happy you had a good Mario Kart stream. Oh my god, I almost missed that. Whew. Not even gold split. It is what it is. Okay, so far I think BitDW will be the one to screw me up. Let's go indeed. I changed the camera and then it changed back. Hey, good. Good landing. That is not good. Oh, the camera's changed. I was like, why does it look so weird? Let's go. I gotta. Oh. Bro, I'm telling you, this underwear or these pants? Probably the underwear. I've been wearing these pants for the past while. Let's go. Yes. Good job, Penguin. BitDW, baby. It all comes down to the BitDW. If I want to go for a PB, then I'm gonna be very cautious right now. If I want to go for improving, then I am not gonna be very cautious. I think I might go for the improvement route. The bane of my existence at the moment. Okay, that was actually decent. Good job, Ping. Okay, I thought I would be able to side flip, but that's fine. Oh, that was so scary. Oh, that would have been bad. Really? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Oh. Actually decent? Question mark? For me at least right now. Shit, that was bad. That was shit, bro. Okay, I kind of came back there. I'll take it. I don't think we're gonna gold it though. Because of that screwed up jump. That should be good. Are you serious? Oh my god, that was so sad. Yeah, that's not a gold. Still decent. Yeah, saved 3 seconds. Good, BitDW is out of the way. Okay, we're gonna go this. I almost went for BLJs for a second. Because I usually don't do that unless it's for BLJs. But apparently it saves time for SSL unless you have perfect movement, so... yeah. Nice, Ping. Oh my god. What's up, Depth? How you doing? How's life going? How's school? I always forget when there is school and when there isn't. Ooh, my movement feels goddamn beautiful, baby. Should I long jump this? Nah, too risky. Okay, that was Here we go. Let's go. My best was a PB here, so should be okay. Even if we don't do too well. Oh my god, that was so close. Whew. Too close for comfort. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I should have long jumped. Oh, that actually worked decently well. Gonna do that, and then do that. Then do that. Wow. Actually good. That was actually really good. It's feeling more and more like BLJ's is gonna take the... Bro, don't think like that, Ping Pong. Just play the game. Stop thinking about what will make you lose and win. Just play. Say hi to depth. Punch Toad in the face. Scratch your ear and win. That's it. Good. I just tapped it. Easy mazy. Oh, scariest jump of the game. Ooh, almost died there. Ooh. Actually decent. We should save even more time here. I think we'll have like a minute when we get to BLJ's. If we do MIPS okay, and don't screw up DDD, and don't screw up, you know, the bit FS. Hey, good. Oh, come. What is this luck? Huh? Bro, what the hell? Oh my god, that was so unlucky. And it was a good run. I mean, it's still a decent run, but... Jesus. Hey. Yes, oh, it's always so scary. Not always, but a lot of the times. To not bonk on the walls and to get the MIPS. Get the stupid bunny. No! He always does that. He always does that. If he's too close to the door, he'll just open it. Even when it makes no sense to. Please grab him. That was pretty bad. But my PB had it pretty bad. So. So we should be okay. We lost 6 seconds. I wonder how many minutes I should be pacing to have a sub 20 consistently. Let's go, swimmer. Let's go, Mario. Okay, this might actually be decent-ish. It all depends on the next 5 to 10 seconds. And I screwed it up. Okay. You know what? Could have been worse. I'm not complaining. Bro! Jesus. I'm just losing time with each section now. Da, I should save some time here, though, because my best is 13 seconds faster than my PB. Assuming that I do it okay. I should have long jumped right away. I don't know why I waited. Okay, that's good. That was good. Good. That was actually pretty good. I should have long jumped again. But it's fine. It's fine. No, get up there. Whew! That was too close. That was way too close. Oh, I didn't fall again. Yes! Okay, I'm gonna have yellow life going into Bowser. Damn it, I didn't go in the hole well. That's what she said. Yeah, I should be able to grab him. Yes! Oh, I got way too trigger happy. That would have been a gold split for sure. Now I might actually die. Jesus, if I missed that or if I died, that would have sucked. Damn, not doing well, not doing well. I'm wasting too much time in between each split. Ah, 10 seconds lost. I could still get sub 22. I'm a minute ahead, assuming that I get BLJs insanely fast. But I could save time in bits. Let's see what happens. Boop, 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 I just gotta not get mad. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I screwed it up. I screwed it up again. That's probably a run over. And I'm pretty sure the run's over now. This game is insane, man. I'm screwing this up way too often. Oh my god. Don't get mad, it's okay. Really bad. Depth, are you still here? And the run's over because I can't jump. Even though I did the rest of the runs okay today. Like why? It's like it's okay. We're gonna do like 50 runs today. It's okay. Yeah. Just how it goes. Watch, this won't go through either. Oh, thank God. The run's actually over now. Jesus Christ. Just how it goes. There we go. You're not supposed to go insanely fast. I didn't think about the rhythm there. That's why I screwed it up. But you know what? It could still be... never mind. I don't know what the hell I was doing. It could still be pretty cool if I gold split this section. Because that would... It would literally tell me that, it would tell me that sub 20 is actually possible. I feel like I definitely need to learn new stuff. Punch, jump. Well, never mind. I take it all back. Come on. I don't know why I said come on. It doesn't matter now. Jump, punch. That felt good, but apparently not good enough. Jesus. I know every single 24-hour stream I've done in a game, I've gotten better at the game after 24 hours, so I feel like I should be able to, if I do one tomorrow, I should be able to sub 20. But who knows? Haha, I just jumped on him. I couldn't even get the thing. I was way off. Come here, bro. We're gonna get this one. Easy, baby, easy. I need to learn how to catch him midair too. That could definitely save time. Jesus, he just got demolished. I was about to say, I love how my throws are so much better now, but... but I jinxed it. There we go. Easy. Sub 30, let's go. Sub 30 hype. BLJ's ruined that run. And bits. The run would have been bad regardless because of bits, but hey. I'm not mad and I'm doing better, so that's good, right? I need to bomb clip and to get bits, that bits trick. I need to get those so I could see my best possible time go down. My sob. Some of best segments go down. Probably need to learn how to play the game better too. Maybe let's do that. Super Mario. We'll do that during the 24-hour stream. We'll have plenty of time to do that. Let's see how many resets we've had. We've had 197 attempts. All right, we gotta make it 100. We gotta make it 200 today. Okay, at least do that. I feel like that's a must. Hello. So we're gonna erase this. And boom. Let's do this. It's me, Mario. Okay, BitDW, 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 BitDW. I feel like I could save another like 3 to 5 seconds on BitDW. I'm just not practicing it. What's the the possible time save is for the split. So I could save 10 seconds on this split if I get my best relative to my personal best. I get it now, guys. I get it. Yahoo indeed. Yahoo indeed. Jump, baby. Bad. That was bad. Welcome back, Angel. How you doing? Okay, that was a decent recovery somehow. Da 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 da. Oh, I did not expect that to work. That might be even faster than long jumping twice. That was actually, yeah, I don't know how I did that. Alright, let's do this. Damn it. I've been getting this pretty well, though, which is nice. Back. Good kid was trash talking, but I had to show him who was boss. Nice. Alright, we're going to lose some time here, but that's only 2 seconds. Here we go. Oh yeah, I told myself I would long jump that. Oopsies. Yeah, at least I long jumped that. He's texting me right now. Okay, that's funny. Be like, you suck, butthole. Hey, that was good. I wish I knew, like... I wish my best was like 18 minutes. That might be a little too far. I wish my best was 18 minutes, so like 20 minutes. Yep, I was right. I wish it was 18 minutes, so 20 minutes felt more possible. All right. Wants another round? Lol. I shouldn't really reset here, but I did. Mario. I don't think I've been averaging 7 runs a day, by the way, because like I don't know if the resets count. Like that reset counts, you know? Because that's not a full run. I reset after 1 star. So I don't know. But we could look at game time. The resets count? Yeah, so it's definitely not 7. I probably averaged 4 to 5 runs a day. Maybe less, maybe more. I'm not sure. I would assume 3 to 5 even. There's no way you count every single one, bruh. Bruh. There's no way. Unless you do. In which case, there is a way. Let's jump here, and let's jump here. Yes! I knew that would have been good. Da 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 da! Yahoo, Yahoo.
Monkey do good.
Thank you,
Monkey do
Angel.
very good.
Thank you. I try. He's gonna cry some more. Lol.
Monkey do bad. Monkey do very
That was
bad.
racist.
Monkey do okay. Monkey do pretty okay. I guess.
Oh. Huh? No. That was so close. It like lagged. Okay, I kind of want to keep doing this until I get it. So close, but yet so far. True. I forgot that. You could be almost done and give it up at the end, which is a full run pretty much. That's true, yeah. I mean, I could do both. I actually want to keep doing it until I get Lakitu plus Bomb Clip, because I want to see what my best possible time would go down to. What do you guys think it would go down to? I think it would go down to 2019. 2019. The thing is, I'm like on the cusp of sub 20. I'd have to do like amazingly everywhere to get sub 20. 2021? Yeah, that might be right actually. I'm gonna make the kid cry. Sheesh. Well, you're a kid too. Why? Why? I don't know, it's human nature. I don't know how I got that. That should have not worked. 2069. Teen and kid is the same, bro. Okay? I mean, you're right. You're not a kid, you're a teen. I apologize.
I apologize, and I hope you take my apology.
Nope. Oh, this is gonna take too long. Shit! That was so close. I kind of want to do it again, but it's fine. But kid mentally. It's fine. I'll practice some more in the future. This is the last run of the day, boys. No 24-hour stream tonight. I don't know if my brain can handle looking at this for 24 hours, to be honest. I might just give up the challenge of sub 20 in a month. Or should I do a 24-hour stream? I don't know. There's a difference between pedophile and okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the difference, but I'll take your word for it. What's an file? Don't give up. Play some other game? Yeah, I'll play banning you for telling me to play a different game. That's what I'll do. What kind of logic works like that? Oh, you've been trying to beat this game in less than 20 minutes for a full month every single day of the month? Yeah, you should play some other game. That's so mean. I'm just joking. You might mean like to take a break from this game, right? That could be good. I think this is good. How the fuck did I screw that up? Play some other game right now. Play some other game right now. And don't play this anymore. And don't play this anymore. I'm attracted to seniors. I think I'm done. I'm done for today. My freaking ass hurts. I sit on this chair for way too long. I'm done for today. Tomorrow, we have 2 days left to reach sub 20. So we'll see what happens. If it gets too difficult to look at the super bright game, well, it's not to look at it, just to like, just go through the same thing over and over. There's always some other stuff. Nah, I'm just gonna end stream. I've been looking at the computer way too much today. I need to get some other stuff done, which involves looking at the computer anyway. I have to watch the videos the editor edited, Ryan edited. I got I gotta figure out ideas for next month. And I gotta rest my eyes, bro. I gotta be ready for tomorrow, 24-hour stream, baby. Right, guys? So thanks for watching. I'll check my DMs, I guess. What, on Twitch? Oh, that's so much harder. I won't check my DMs, I guess. Give me a second. I'll check my DMs. Let me first put the... Gotta run the credits, right? Thanks for watching, guys. We got some new subs today, which was cool. Ghosty followed. Ping Pong Family followed today. No, but okay. Ghosty gave 6 bits. We got some subs. Been good. It has been good. I don't see anything in my DMs. Ba-doo, boo-doo-doo. Oh, maybe it is on Discord. I'm dumb. Play Hollow Knight. I can't, bro. I need to focus my time on other stuff. Sorry. Gomennasai, I apologize. No hugs today. I still want to edit your TikTok. Jesus, my eye's so red. I have another guy that wants to edit too, so yeah, I'll talk to both of you guys. I just need to. It'll be in early to mid-March when I'll contact you about that, Angel. I mean, you both could edit them. Like, I don't mind. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry that it was a bit short today. I just